A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Kroger Tenderay Beef. No other beef so fresh can be so tender. Presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. K is for Kroger. C is for cut. B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef. And Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. And the reason is this. Before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Mind you, that's before the meat is weighed and priced, which means more meat for your money. And it's top U.S. government grades of beef. It's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Yes, in Kroger cut beef, you get a better value in top-grade beef. For example, take a specific cut of beef, say a Kroger cut chuck roast. Before the roast is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess waste and stringy meat. That means you get a better value because you get more solid meat, only a minimum of bone. Yes, you receive more meat, less waste, whether you buy a steak or roast. So visit your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Get Kroger cut beef. It gives you more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. It is always easier to forgive than to forget. But even forgiveness can be difficult. Peg Martin was not hurt when her husband Jim tried to shoot and kill her. It was Penny Gibbs who was injured. But this makes Peg no less bitter toward her husband. From his cell in jail, he is asked a dozen times to see her. But when the police phone, all Peg will say is,
"No. Tell him I don't want to see him. I won't. And don't call me again."
Oh, Crickets, Mrs. Martin, was that the police station again?
Yes, Nora, the police again.
Oh, I guess Mr. Martin wants to see you just awfully much, doesn't he?
Yes, and I have an idea why, too.
Why?
He wants to tell me how sorry he is he didn't kill me.
Oh, Crickets, no. He wants to tell you how sorry he is that he even tried. I'm just sure of it.
You don't know Jim Martin the way I do, Nora. His plans were spoiled when he wandered in on your birthday party and found a house full of people. He thought I'd be here alone or with only one or two others.
It's a lucky thing you weren't, Mrs. Martin. If Freddie and Mr. Keith hadn't stopped him, he might have killed you.
He would have killed me, Nora, and maybe whoever was with me. All he wants to see me about is to promise me he'll catch me alone next time and not miss.
Well, you aren't sure that's the reason he wants to see you. Why don't you go and talk to him? He's had the police call up 10 times a day.
Well, the police aren't going to phone again. I just told them it was no use.
Oh, Crickets, Mrs. Martin. Just think how you'd feel if you'd done something wrong and you wanted to say you're sorry and no one would let you say it.
Jim's not sorry for what he did. It's for what he didn't do.
But you don't know that.
No, but as I said before, I know Jim.
But people do things to surprise you sometimes. Sometimes they do the thing you least expect.
An apology from Jim Martin is not only the least, but the last thing I'd expect.
Mrs. Martin, look, he's going to prison for what he did, and he may be in prison for a long time, and, well, he's never been in jail before, has he?
No, but I don't know why not.
Well, then, don't you see maybe being in jail and waiting to go on trial and be sent to prison is, well, done something to change him.
Oh, Nora, I wish I could believe that.
You could go down and see him and find out.
You mean find out he hasn't changed a bit? Jim isn't going to say he's sorry, I'm sure of it.
Well, if the person who did something bad to me wanted to see me, for no matter what, I'd at least see him. And it wouldn't make me feel any better to be bad right back at him.
Well, it's not making me feel better either.
Well, then why don't you go to see him? Well, Crickets, if he isn't nice, you don't have to stay 2 seconds.
That's true, Nora, but what am I going to say to him? If I see him, I wouldn't know how to begin.
You don't have to say anything, seems to me. Let him do the talking.
Oh, it's a simple enough solution, isn't it?
Oh, you're going to see him then?
I don't know, Nora. He's made me begin to feel that maybe I should.
Oh, Mrs. Martin, he can't do you any more harm, no matter what he says to you.
No. I don't suppose a harsh word will do to me what that bullet from Jim's gun did to Penny.
No.
I think you're right, Nora. It won't hurt me to see him.
Oh.
And if I think I'm hurting him by refusing to see him, I'm just kidding myself. You won't need me to help with anything for a while, dear, will you?
Oh, no, Mrs. Martin. Oh, you're going to see Mr. Martin?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Oh, that's just super. I know you won't be sorry.
I won't be, Nora. I can't be any more sorry than I am now. And if my visit with Jim isn't too bad, I think maybe I'll try to see Penny.
Oh, I saw her yesterday afternoon. She looks wonderful.
I wonder how she feels.
Oh, she feels fine, too.
Physically, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean mentally. Nora, I'm worried about what she must think of me. If she hadn't taken me into this house, she wouldn't be in the hospital now.
Oh, crickets, Mrs. Martin. You know Miss Gibbs doesn't blame you for what happened. She doesn't even blame Mr. Martin. She knows it was all just an accident.
Hello, Jim.
Oh, Peg. They said you were coming to see me,
Never
but
mind the theatrics, Jim. We've had enough of that already.
I'm sorry, but I've had the police call you 10 times a day at least, and you wouldn't come to see me. When they said you were coming, I wouldn't believe it.
I didn't want to come here, Jim. Something told me I should.
I'm glad it did. Oh, Peg, believe me, if these bars weren't between us, Peg, I've had a lot of time to think since I've been in here, and I know what made me want to kill you. It was jealousy.
Jealousy? What makes you jealous of me? I've never had anything to do with any other man.
It isn't that. I was jealous of the fact that you could get along without me. I was angry because in all the years I was away, you never tried to find me, never showed a sign of wanting me to come back to you.
You left me, Jim. I didn't run out on you. I didn't think you wanted to come back.
Oh, but I did. Right after I went away, I wanted to come back. But I was too stupid and too proud to do anything about it. I wanted you to ask me back.
Nice of you.
Yes, wasn't it? I didn't want to come crawling back to you and beg forgiveness and then have you lord it over me for the rest of my life. No, I wanted you to ask me back so I could lord that over you. Yeah, that's the kind of heel that you married, Peg.
Thanks for telling me, Jim. I never knew until now just what kind you were.
Peg, I admit it. You're much too good for me. I don't blame you if you never speak to me again. Maybe you're smart if you don't, but, Peg, this has taught me a lesson. These bars, this cell has made me see how wrong I've been all my life. The law should have caught up with me a long time ago just for being no good. But, Peg, I've changed. I swear I have.
I hope you have.
I have, Peg. You think you hate me. Well, I hate myself a lot worse than you hate me.
I don't hate you, Jim. I'm only afraid of you.
But you won't have to be from now on.
No. From now on, well, for a good number of years at least, you're going to be safely in prison.
But what about after I get out?
I don't want to think about that.
But I do. I've been thinking about it ever since I've been here. Peg, this has taken the meanness out of me. I want to make up for what I've done. I want to give you the kind of life I promised before we were married. I want to give Julie the things that she is...
Oh, you remember you have a daughter, do you?
Julie is another reason I went crazy without you, Peg. Julie's partly mine, but you had all of her.
You didn't seem to want her when you walked out on us.
Peg, can't a man ever finish paying for his mistakes? Must I go on all the rest of my days suffering because 5 years back I was a fool?
You were a fool in Penny's house just last week. Starting now, you're paying for that.
The law says I'll pay for that with only a certain number of years. Can't I pay for running away from you and Julie and get it over with?
Jim, what are you asking me to do? Wait for you to get out of prison and then take you back?
Yes, Peg, I am.
Oh, no, Jim. I'm sorry,
Peg,
but
listen, you don't have to answer right now. Think it over. Think it over a long time. Tell me in a month, a year, or 2 years, but think it over. And believe me, Peg, I've changed.
I believe you. I'm just that much of a fool. I've never fully gotten over being in love with you. I was very much in love with you in the beginning, Jim.
And you're still in love with me, Peg. You have to be. Love like that just goes on and on.
Yes, it does. It's still there, and that's probably why I'm such a fool.
No, you're not a fool, Peg. You're a good and a kind and a beautiful woman. I don't deserve to have you love me, but you do. And I want to return that love. Peg, I'll give you everything you want. You and Julie will have the most beautiful life that two people ever lived. Oh, I'm so stupid. I made good money when we were first married. I'll make good money again. I have
I
ideas.
don't want money. Money won't keep me from being afraid of you. Money won't make up for the past 5 years or the loneliness of the next few years to come if I decide to wait for you.
Oh, Peg, please. Please, give me another chance. If not for my sake, for Julie's. I'm her father. She has a right to me. Don't deny your own daughter that right. Please give me another chance. For Julie's sake.
For Julie's sake. I'll think about it, Jim. For Julie's sake. And if I think it's right for her, it'll be right for me. I'll think about it, Jim, and I'll...
If you turn the handle a little bit more, Peg, that'll be high enough.
There.
How's that, Penny? Oh, that's much better, thank you. Oh, now I can see you. You know, I'm glad you went down to see Jeff. He must feel awful about what he's done, Peg.
Well, in some ways, Penny, I think he's finally learned his lesson.
Well, sometimes it takes a foolish move to wake us up, you know. He wants you to take him back, doesn't he?
He just about got down on his knee.
Oh, Peg, listen to me. Don't laugh at him about it.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't laughing because I thought Jim was funny. What I really want to do is cry, Penny. Oh, he's so pathetic. Everything's gone right out of him. He has no spirit. He looks as if he'll never laugh again as long as he lives.
Peg, listen to me a minute. Have you ever thought that he has nothing ahead of him to laugh about? The prison's going to be rather hard to take. He's a proud person, Peg. But even worse than that, he has to take the years after prison alone, ashamed. His own daughter turned away from him.
I have an idea he loves our baby.
I think he was sorry he left her, Peg. And you know something?
What?
Sorrow can turn into anger. And anger into what's almost insanity after a while.
You're a very wise girl, Penny. I wish I had your understanding. I think it's obvious that's just what happened to Jim. I know him, and I didn't see it until today. You don't know him, but you understand that.
Because I try and put myself into the other person's place. It helps to understand people who do unusual things. Oh, Peg. Peg, put yourself in Jim's place for a minute.
I've been doing that ever since I saw him this afternoon, and I've been thinking about him constantly.
Just what have you been thinking?
Oh, nothing tangible yet. But I know I still love him. One look at him, and I know I still love him. And then there's Julie to think about. I don't know yet, Penny. That is, I don't know for sure. But maybe Jim is my future, after all.
Was Jim Martin sincere in saying he's sorry? Is Peg Martin inviting disaster for both herself and her daughter by considering life with him again? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger Cut Beef, and Kroger Cut Beef means more meat for your money. That's right. Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat, less waste. Because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. For example, if porterhouse steak is your favorite, you'll find that at Kroger's you don't pay steak price for stringy ends and waste. The Kroger method of cutting beef removes the long, stringy end and excess waste before the steak is weighed and priced. But see for yourself by visiting your Kroger store. Notice that you get more meat, less waste, and it's top U.S. government grades of beef. Beef that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Remember, whether you buy a steak or roast, Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat for your money. Yes, everybody's happy when you go to your neighborhood Kroger store for Kroger Cut Beef. Your family loves the deliciousness, the juicy flavor of Kroger beef. You love the way it cooks up so perfectly. And your pocketbook loves the fact that Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat for your money. Get some without delay. Get Kroger Cut Beef and get more meat, less waste at your neighborhood Kroger store. Be sure to listen in tomorrow, same time, same station, for another absorbing transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Chesterfield, the only cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king size, brings you Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, The story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. The body of a dead man has been found in the rear of his shop. He has been brutally beaten to death. The killer is unknown. Your job, find him. Thousands are changing to Chesterfield, both regular and king size, because Chesterfield is the first and only cigarette to give you premium quality in both sizes.
That means king-size Chesterfield contains tobaccos of better quality and higher price than any other king-size cigarette.
It's the same fine tobacco as in regular Chesterfield. There is absolutely no difference, except that king-size Chesterfield is larger. Contains so much more of the same tobaccos, it gives more than a fifth longer smoke. Yes, more than a fifth longer smoke.
So remember, Chesterfield is the only cigarette to give you premium quality in both regular and king size.
Buy 'em either way you like 'em. Premium quality Chesterfield, and much milder.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Monday, July 5th. It was hot in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of homicide detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Lorman. My name's Friday. It was 7:58 a.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide.
That you, Joe?
Yeah. How's it going?
Don't ask me.
What's the matter?
Went to the beach yesterday. Got so sunburned I could hardly sleep last night. I'm just miserable, Joe. It's going to be a week before I can wear a shirt without feeling I got army blanket on.
Well, can't you get something for it? Something to make it feel a little better anyway?
Don't bring that up either.
What's that?
If you've got any homemade remedies for sunburn, keep them to yourself. I've had them for now.
Yeah, why? What's the matter?
Like I said, we went to the beach yesterday. Beautiful day. They fixed up a lunch, sandwiches, potato salad, deviled eggs, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
We went down to Castle Rock, down the highway.
Yeah.
Just had a ball. Just great. Kids played in the water, and then when it got dark, we had a few 4th of July things for them. Sparklers, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got home, and I started to feel it.
What, the sunburn?
Yeah. Back feels like it's on fire, Joe. Legs feel like I got them in hot oil. Believe me, it's terrible. Took off my shirt, pants at home, just sitting there in my shorts. I was trying to figure out some way to stop the burning,
Yeah.
Well, it happened. In comes Armand.
Well, that's your brother-in-law, huh?
Yeah. He's read in some magazine where tea is the stuff for burns. Right away he starts brewing tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
And you drink?
Yeah. Tells me to lay down on the floor, right flat on my stomach. I was feeling so miserable I'd have done anything to get rid of the feeling, so I did just lay there. And he starts putting tea leaves all up and down my back of my legs, and it felt real good at first. Kind of cool,
Yeah. And all this time you're laying on your stomach there.
Yeah, right in the middle of the living room floor. He put papers down first, so the tea wouldn't drip all over the floor.
Well, you brew this stuff first.
Yeah, and then they put the tea leaves on me, but then the tea leaves started to dry. They crinkled all up, and the pain came back. Just miserable, Joe.
Well, did it do any good at all?
I don't know. They finally took it off and put some kind of ointment on my back. Helped a little. Had to sleep on my stomach all night. Couldn't turn over. I just lay real still. Once in a while, I'd fall asleep and roll over, and wow, I'd wake right up with the pain. I tell you, Joe, I didn't sleep at all. Not a wink.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't see what you're blaming Armand for. Seems like he did try to help you out, though.
Oh, sure, he tried. Whole thing was his fault. If he'd kept his big mouth shut, everything would have been all right.
How do you figure that?
The picnic. It was his idea, Joe.
It's a hot shot. I'll get it.
What is it?
Killing down on Bixel. 8:14 a.m. We arrived at the address on South Bixel. It was a small neighborhood pawn shop. A radio car had arrived, and the two officers had cleared the crowd away from the entrance of the store. One of the officers showed us through a curtain into the back room. Everything was smashed. Glass cases were demolished. Clothing from the shelves had been torn down and thrown all over the floor. At one side of the room, a closet door was half open, and in the closet was the body of a man. We started to talk with George Armstrong, the victim's partner.
Terrible. I don't want to look anymore. I don't want to believe it. Anybody would do this to Mark.
Mark, is that your partner's name?
Yes, Mark Williams, my friend. We've been together the last 15 years. Knew each other for 10 years before that. I don't want to think about it.
Would you like to step out here, sir? Front part of the store?
Well, would it be all right?
Yes, be fine.
I'll call the crime lab, Joe.
All right, good.
Where's the phone, sir?
It's back there on the wall.
Thanks.
I'd like to ask you some questions, if it'd be all right.
Yes?
You discovered the body, is that right?
Well, yes, this morning when I came in, I opened the store like I always do, about, I think it was 7:45, I guess it was, something like that.
I see.
I opened the front door like I usually do, and then I came in and put the water on for some tea. You can see there, see that hot plate? Mark and I usually have a cup of tea when he comes in.
I see.
Well, then I went to the back room to hang up my coat. First, I thought that somebody had tried to rob the place.
Mm-hmm.
The way things, were scattered all over. Then I saw Mark laying on the floor, and I called you.
They're on the way, Joe.
Okay. Did you always open up the store by yourself, Mr. Armstrong?
Yes. I don't know how it started, but somewhere along the line, I'd open up the place, and then Mark would clean up the shop and close. It's been that way for years.
Mm-hmm. When did you last see Mr. Williams? That is, when did you see him alive?
Saturday night. I left about 5:45. He was closing the place up. I told him that I'd meet him for breakfast Sunday morning. He wasn't there. I tried to call him at home, but there wasn't any answer. His landlady hadn't seen him.
Was he married, do you know?
No, he wasn't married. Same thing happened to both of us. Neither one of us married.
What's that, sir?
Well, you see, Mark and I are both in love with the same girl when we were younger. We used to take her to the park in the summer, listen to the band, concerts. Three of us, we used to go every place together. Like I said, both of us were in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, things went along just fine for a year or so, and then she got married to someone else. Mark and I were pretty sad about it. Couldn't blame the girl, though. The guy she married was rich. He had a big house. It was a good family. We didn't have much of anything. No, neither of us married. Just never seemed to find a girl compared with Kate.
Kate?
Kate Dillon. She's a lovely girl.
This meeting you were going to have yesterday morning, was that a regular thing?
Oh, yes, it was. You see, about the only relaxation Mark and I had was bowling on the green.
Bowling?
Mm-hmm. Every Sunday that it didn't rain, we'd meet for breakfast and then catch a bus out to Exposition Park. Bowling club out there. Mark and I both belonged. Mark was a sort of local champion. Played a real good game.
Well, didn't you think that anything was wrong when he didn't meet you yesterday?
Well, yes, I did. I did at first. Then I got to thinking about it, and I figured maybe he wasn't feeling too good. Just didn't want to go out to the club.
Yes, sir.
He'd get like that, moody. Just for no reason at all. Decided he didn't want to go any place at all. Just sit in his room. Almost always came to work, even when he was in the mood. But now and then he'd just sit up there and look out the window.
Was there any special reason for all this?
No, not that I know of. He just get like that. No special reason. When he did, you just had to sit and let the mood pass. Nothing else to do.
I see. Well, did Mr. Williams have any enemies that you'd know of? Anyone at all that might do a thing like this?
No, sir. No one.
Mm-hmm. Was he alone when you left him Saturday night?
Yes, he was straightening up the shelves, getting the things in order. But he was all by himself. No one was here.
Well, have you ever had any trouble with anyone in the neighborhood lately? Somebody who might have been looking for trouble, maybe?
Well, Sergeant, most of our customers have trouble.
Well, yes, sir, but about how much money was on the premises when you left?
Maybe $1,500.
Where'd you keep the money?
In the safe, right there. You can see for yourself it's all right.
Would you mind opening it up just to be sure?
Well, if you want me to, but I'm sure everything's okay.
If you wouldn't mind, sir.
Okay. I know there's nothing wrong here. 43. You can see for yourself that everything's okay, can't you? 16 left.
Yes, sir. We just want to be sure.
Right to 8. There. You can see it.
Uh-huh. Is the money kept in that strong box?
Yes, sir.
Who knew the combination to this safe? I mean, besides you.
Just Mark and me. We were the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
There. All the money's there.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else missing from the store? Anything that you can see?
Well, Sergeant, look around you. If there was anything, how could I tell? I'd have to take a complete inventory. Well, what difference does it make? How's it going to help Mark?
Well, it's pretty important we find out why he was killed the way he was, sir. A beating and all. If you'd look around, you might be able to come up with something.
Oh, all right, I'll look around, but I tell you, I don't think there's anything gone.
All right, if you just do that, we'll look over the back room. It'll be all right.
Pretty bad, huh, Joe?
Yeah. Looks like revenge could have been the motive, maybe, from the looks of things here.
Yeah, it'd have
tell.
to be something like that.
Terrible beating. The way the place is all smashed up.
Yeah.
Frank,
Yeah?
come over here.
Yeah?
Look here in the closet. You can see it there under the body.
Oh, yeah, looks like a hand axe.
Yeah.
Might have been trying to defend himself, huh?
Well, maybe.
Sergeant,
Yes, sir?
you were right, absolutely right.
What's that, sir?
Well, he did steal something. The gun case had been broken into.
Yes, sir. Anything missing?
A couple of revolvers.
8:32 a.m. The crime lab crew arrived and went over the place. In the back room, under a pile of clothes, they found a 10-inch length of lead pipe. Dean Bergman from Leighton Prints dusted the room, the safe in the store, and the lead pipe. He came up with several clean prints. He rolled the dead man's fingerprints, and then he took Armstrong's. Comparison with those he'd found eliminated all of them except a partial print on the safe. The coroner arrived and removed the body. Frank and I canvassed the neighborhood, but none of the people in the area had noticed anyone suspicious in the last few days. We called the office, and Sergeants Joe LaMonica and Howard Hudson came out to help us in the search of the vicinity. The axe found in the hands of the victim, Mark Williams, had stains on the blade. A closer check of the pawn shop showed that several articles other than the guns had been stolen. George Armstrong gave us a complete list of the missing property along with the serial numbers of the guns. 11:34 a.m. Frank and I checked back into the city hall. Frank, did you get the APBs out?
Yeah? You notified the pawn shop detail. Any word from LaMonica and Hudson?
No, not yet. At least there's nothing in the book there.
I get it.
Homicide Friday. Oh, yeah, Jim. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we haven't heard from him yet. No. Where? Yeah. Yeah, well, that figures. Uh-huh. Okay, thanks. It's LaMonica. He and Hudson found a blood-stained shirt in an alley behind an apartment house a couple of blocks from the pawn shop.
Yeah?
Checked the apartment register, and they found a Wallace Holmes listed.
Holmes?
Yeah, LaMonica knows him.
Yeah?
Just served 6 months for violation of the Narcotics Act. 12:02 p.m. We ran the name Wallace Holmes through R&I. He had a record dating back almost 10 years. He'd been arrested twice for violation of the State Health and Safety Code and once on suspicion of 211 PC. We talked to the neighbors in the apartment building where he lived, but they told us that Holmes had been in bed with a bad cold for the past 3 days. Several of them had taken him food on occasion and stated positively that he could not have left the apartment. Bergman checked his fingerprints against those we'd found at the pawn shop. There was no make. A stakeout was placed on the building. 2:15 p.m. We checked with the crime lab to see if Ray Pinker had finished the tests on the physical evidence that he'd collected at the murder scene.
Looks like the lead pipe.
Can you tell us anything about the killer?
Nothing except his WMA.
How about the other bloodstains, Ray?
Test out type O. Victim's type B.
Well, figures that he managed to hit the killer with the axe then, huh?
Possible.
How about the shirt? You find anything on it?
We haven't finished the tests on the dust particles we found in the pockets yet. Precipitant test shows it's human blood. Haven't had a chance to group it yet.
How about any laundry markings? Anything there, Ray?
Yeah, just about to check it. Spread it out here. You want to get those lights, Frank?
Yeah, I'll go.
Turn on this fluorescent. Yeah. There's laundry marking here.
Yeah. Looks like RJ.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? And there's a number there, too. And
769-02.
anything else, Ray?
Looks like that's about it.
What laundry, would you know?
Yeah, I think so. Marking's the same type as Consolidated Central Laundry uses. It's a big place out on Pico.
Mm-hmm.
Handle cleaning for a lot of small neighborhood places in town. I can give you the address.
Okay, anything else?
Oh, he had a 15 neck and a 33 sleeve.
Average size, not much help, huh?
Maybe I can give you some more when I get through the dust particles in the pockets.
Yeah, okay. Wish we had a little more to go on.
Well, you got a piece of lead pipe, a stained shirt, and an axe that looks like it's been recently used.
Yeah.
They all connect somewhere along the line.
Yeah, all we got to do is find out where. 2:58 p.m. Frank and I drove out to the Consolidated Central Laundry. We talked to the manager, and he looked through the files. He was able to tell us that the shirt had been laundered at a small cleaning place on South Hill. He gave us the address, and Frank and I drove over. We talked to the manager of the shop.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's our number, all right.
Yes, sir. Would it be possible for you to tell us who owns the shirt?
Yeah, I'll look it up in the book. Let's see, RJ 769-02.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Let's see, 642, 98, 7. Yeah, here it is. John Dunlap, address out on 3rd Street. Say, what do you want to know about the shirt for? Dunlap done something?
Well, we're just conducting an investigation here.
Oh.
Wonder if you'd describe this Dunlap for us.
Oh, sure. I've known John for years. Been bringing his things in here for at least 8, maybe 9 years.
Could you give us a description of him, you think?
Yeah, Johnny's about my size, maybe 5'11". Weighs about 180.
How about his coloring?
Huh?
His coloring. Is he dark or light complected?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess you'd say maybe sort of medium. Yeah, medium.
Does he have any marks or scars on him? Anything unusual about him?
Well, if you asked me that yesterday, I'd have said no.
How's that?
Well, up till this morning. Well, John came in this morning, and there was nothing that made him stand out up till then. He must have had an accident over the weekend, I guess.
I don't understand.
Came in this morning, his face was all scratched up.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
We like to give the facts about Chesterfield so you can be your own judge.
Chesterfield is the first and only cigarette to give you premium quality in both regular and king size.
Chesterfield is the first and only cigarette to tell you what it's made of. The world's best tobaccos. Kept tasty and fresh by pure and costly moistening agents. The best that money can buy. And Chesterfield cigarette paper is of the highest purity.
Now, Chesterfield is the first cigarette to present this scientific evidence on the effects of smoking.
A medical specialist is making regular bi-monthly examinations of a group of people from various walks of life. 45% of this group have smoked Chesterfield for an average of over 10 years. After 8 months, the medical specialist reports that he observed no adverse effects on the nose, throat, and sinuses of the group from smoking Chesterfield. I'd say that means real mildness. Either way you like them, regular or king size, you'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder.
Monday, 5:30 p.m. Frank and I ran the name John Dunlap through R&I. We found no record on anyone answering his description. Meantime, the stakeout on Wallace Holmes' apartment where we'd found the blood-stained shirt continued. Ray Pinker had finished the test on the shirt and found that most of the blood on it was type B. However, there were also small traces of type O. The tests on the dust particles found in the pockets of the shirt netted us nothing. 6:15 p.m. We drove out to the address given us by the cleaning shop. It was a large apartment building. Dunlap was registered in the penthouse. We took the elevator up and rang the bell.
Yeah?
John Dunlap?
That's right. What can I do for you?
Police officers would like to talk to you.
Police? What do you want with me?
Just like to talk to you.
Well, okay, come on in. You can see you caught me in the shower.
This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, mind if I go ahead and get dressed while we talk? I got a date and I don't want to be too late.
No, it's all right. Go right ahead.
Come on in here. What is it I can do for you, officers?
Well, what if you could explain your movements Saturday night?
Saturday night?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see. I played golf in the morning, got back from the club about 6, I guess. Miserable game, 102, lost $35. Sure was off Saturday.
Just a minute, sir. You tell us what clothes you want. We'll get them for you.
All right, hand me that shirt there, the blue one, huh?
Yeah.
Sure, miserable game Saturday. 3-putted almost every green.
Nice-looking shirts, Dunlap.
Like them?
Well, they're nice-looking. Where do you get them?
I have them made. Can't wear store-made shirts. Neck's too long. Collar doesn't fit right.
What'd you do after you got home from the golf club?
Took a shower, then went out. Had a date. Lousy game, ruined the whole evening.
Sir?
Well, after that crummy 102, I really played the 19th hole. Got pretty loaded. By the time I got to Alice's, I was in a rare mood.
Alice?
Yeah, Alice Miller. Anyway, I was about half hour late, and she was fit to be tied. We were supposed to have dinner out in Malibu. Took us about an hour to drive out there, and Alice kept getting mad as we drove. I guess I didn't help things out any. I was in a foul mood and didn't keep it to myself.
Yeah?
Well, by the time we got there, really going at it, silly thing, no sense to the argument at all, but it just kept building. Either one of you married?
Yes, sir. My partner here is.
Well, then he knows what I mean. Well, we didn't get down to the beach till about 8:30 or 9. We got out of the car, and Alice said she wanted me to take her back home. I told her we'd just gotten there. She said she didn't care, wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I told her if she wanted to leave, it was okay with me, and I turned around to walk down to the house. You know, it's pretty dark down there.
Uh-huh.
Well, I walked right over the embankment. Must have fallen over about 6-7 feet. Didn't hurt myself much, but you can see I scratched up my face.
Yeah, we can.
Well, the long one, though, I guess it was worth it.
How's that?
Well, Alice was so scared she ran down to me, and the argument was all over. We went on into the house and had dinner.
How long were you there?
Well, I guess until, maybe 2:30, 3 in the morning. Got to playing charades, time just went.
You happen to know what blood type you have?
What?
Your blood type. Do you know what it is?
Well, I think it's A, but I'm not sure, though.
Uh-huh. You said you had your shirts made to order, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Why?
Can you tell us how someone else might have gotten one of your shirts?
Wait a minute. I don't think I understand just what's going on. Or what is this all about? You come in here and ask a lot of questions. What's it all for?
Just routine.
Routine what? It's not routine for me to have policemen come in and ask a lot of questions. Where was I Saturday night? Who makes my shirts? Who might have had them? Come on, what's the pitch?
All right. You know a man named Mark Williams?
Williams? No, Tom Williams sells insurance.
No, Mark Williams.
No, I don't think I know him, Mark. Anyway, what's he got to do with this?
He was killed Saturday night.
You figure maybe I did?
Well, the shirt that belongs to you was found near the scene.
My shirt?
That's right. Same label. Check the laundry markings in it. Your laundryman said it was your shirt. Said it was your number.
You talked to Harry?
Yeah, if that's his name. I guess we did.
Well, I don't understand it. Hey, wait a minute.
Yes, sir?
A couple of weeks ago, I gave a half a dozen shirts to the woman who comes in to clean up the place. She might know what happened. Let me call her and find out. I got her number here someplace. Yeah, here it is. If anybody knows, she would. A couple of weeks ago, told her she could have them. I don't know what's the matter with them. Hello? Mrs. Lambert in, please? Yeah, thank you. Oh, Mrs. Lambert? This is John Dunlap. Oh, just fine. And you? That's good. No, I just want to know what you did with those shirts you took a couple of weeks ago. Well, no, Mrs. Lambert, I did give them to you. I just want to know what you did with them. Uh-huh. I see. Well, can you give me the address? Well, just a minute. I'll get a pencil. You have a pencil, officer?
Here you are.
Thank you. Now, go ahead, Mrs. Lambert. Uh-huh. 47? All right, thank you. No, don't you worry. Everything's all right. Yeah, well, thank you, Mrs. Lambert. Yeah, I'll see you then. Right, goodbye. A real character. Thought I wanted the shirts back.
Did she tell you what she did with them?
Yeah, said she sold them to a second-hand store down on Bixel.
7:20 p.m. We drove over to talk to the cleaning woman. She gave us the same story that we'd gotten from John Dunlap. We went over to the second-hand store, but it was closed. The stakeout on the apartment continued. The body had been posted, and the coroner told us that Williams had been killed at approximately midnight on Saturday night. That would allow 2 hours on either side, making it possible for the murder to take place between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Frank and I checked out of the office and went home. The following morning, Tuesday, July 6th at 8:17 p.m., we checked the second-hand store where the shirts had been sold. The dealer told us that he remembered the shirts. He said that he'd bought 5 of them and had only sold 1. He was able to give us a fair description of the man he'd sold the shirt to. He went on to say that he'd heard that the man was a user of narcotics. We ran the name he gave us, Fred Harris, through R&I. He had a record of violation of the State Narcotic Act. We got out an APB and a local bulletin on him. We called Narcotics Division and notified them that we wanted Harris as a suspect. We checked the address listed on his record, but we found that he'd moved and left no forwarding address. 2 days went by. We ran down all leads, but we were able to come up with nothing new. Thursday, July 8th, 8:30 a.m. Frank and I checked back into the squad room. Well, there's another one that didn't go anyplace. Yeah, well, he's got to be someplace. I get it. Homicide Friday. Oh, yeah, Joe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, how soon will you be here? All right. Okay, right. Anything? Well, Monica and Hudson, they just picked Harris up. 11:20 a.m. Fred Harris was brought to the interrogation room. Frank and I talked to him for about an hour, but other than his name, he refused to tell us anything. We tried to lead him out. We talked about his family, about sports, food, everything we could think of. None of it worked. Harris remained sullen and uncooperative. 1:46 p.m.
How about some lunch, Joe?
I guess so.
Harris?
No, thanks.
Well, you suit yourself.
What do you want, Joe?
Well, ham on rye, all right. Get some coffee, too, huh?
Okay. You sure, Harris? You don't want anything to eat?
No, I told you.
Okay.
All right, if I smoke?
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you want to talk about it, Harris?
About what?
Why you killed Williams.
Who says I did?
That's the way it looks.
It looks wrong.
Well, you figured for yourself, Harris. When you killed the old man, you weren't very careful. You left a couple of prints around the place.
Yeah?
Shirt you wore, we got that. Found it right where you dropped it. Ran that down, leads right to you. Got the man who sold it to you. Identifies you.
Maybe he's wrong.
No, you know better than that. When they picked you up, you were carrying some of the things you stole from that pawn shop. You can't account for your time on Saturday night.
I told you I didn't do it.
I didn't kill the old man. I just don't remember where I was that night. Didn't that happen to you? You go someplace and a couple of days later you can't remember where you were. Doesn't that ever happen to you?
Oh, yeah, once in a while.
Hey, you see? How do you expect me to remember when you sometimes forget?
You a user?
What are you asking that for? You got the record. Look it up yourself.
Roll up your sleeve.
All right.
You're a user. You work for a living?
Yeah, sometimes.
What do you do?
Whatever I can.
When did you last work?
A couple of weeks ago.
You haven't worked since then, huh?
No.
Where'd you get that stuff they found you?
I don't know. Must have bought it.
Any idea where?
No.
You bought the stuff and you don't know where. Is that what you want me to believe?
Believe what you want. I don't care.
Well, here's what I believe. You tell me if I'm wrong. I think you went to the old man's pawn shop about closing time on Saturday night. You had a big yen on and no money to make a connection. You tried to rob the old man. He didn't like it and you killed him. You killed him with that hunk of lead pipe we found, the one with your fingerprints all over it. Then you tried to get the safe open and you couldn't. So you wiped it clean, grabbed what you could carry, and you ran out of the store. A couple of blocks away, you calmed down and took a look at yourself. You threw that shirt in the ash can, then you went up to Wallace Holmes' apartment to try to make a connection, didn't you?
He tell you all that?
No.
Now, come on, how about it? Holmes tell you that?
Well, look, you're a little mixed up, aren't you? You just answer, you don't ask.
Sure, he told you. You never found out if he did. My big pal, Wallace Holmes. After all I'd done for him. If I had a nickel for every pop I shared with that bum and he cops out on me, blabs everything to you. The one guy I'd have done anything for. Give the guy the shirt off your back, and this is the thanks I get.
Well, what's your big trouble, Harris?
What do you mean?
You ought to hang on to your shirts.
The story you have just heard was true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 15th, trial was held in Department 86, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Friends, again this year, Chesterfield has asked me to remind you to see your own neighborhood cigarette dealer first about your Christmas shopping problems. Among many wonderful gift ideas, he's featuring the gift of the year, the Chesterfield Christmas carton. Now, to my way of thinking, it's the ideal gift because Chesterfield is the only premium quality cigarette available to you shoppers in both regular and king size. Either way, regular or king size, they're a wonderful smoke and they make fine Christmas gifts. Get them from your dealer. Premium quality Chesterfields.
Fred Richard Harris was tried and convicted of murder in the first degree. He was executed in the lethal gas chamber at the State Penitentiary, San Quentin, California. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Vic Rodman, Olin Soule. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Sound off for Chesterfields. Either way you like them, regular or king size, you'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder.
Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Tonight, it's more adventure with Barry Craig, confidential investigator on NBC.
This one's about Pete Kelly.
It's about the world he goes around in. It's about the big music, and the big trouble, and the big 20. So when they ask you, tell them this one's about the blues. Pete Kelly's blues. Jack Webb, with story by Joe Eisinger and music by Dick Kepner.
My name's Pete Kelly. I play cornet. You'll find us at 417 Cherry Street, Kansas City. It's a standard speakeasy. Before Prohibition, the building housed a cleaning and dyeing plant. It hasn't changed much. The vats came in handy. It's still tough to get a clear gin, but a lady likes the idea of a drink to match the color of her dress. The lease is owned by George Lupo. He's a fat, friendly little guy who wouldn't harm a fly. There's no money in harming flies. We start every night about 10 and play till the customers get that first frightening look at each other in the early light. Lupo's working on a scheme to push the dawn back for at least one more hour. I don't think he'll make it, but I wouldn't want to risk a buck against him. The last night, everything was routine until I saw her again. We were just winding up the third set when she came in, flanked with the same deadpan gunsel. She sat alone at the same table, ordered the same drink, smoked the same Egyptian deities, and gave me that same loving look. The gunsel, as usual, nibbled at his drink at the bar, and his eyes playing watchdog for the girl. This was the fifth night, 4 nights running, same girl, same gunsel, same routine. Sit for 5 solid hours, drink, smoke, and work me over with her eyes, reach down deep for a sigh, and leave with deadpan right behind her. Well, I didn't like it. I was beginning to taste salt on my tongue. We went into a finish, and the girl looked once at the gunsel, he nodded, left the bar, and started to the stand. All right. Nick, can you push it a little? It helps when we can hear the beat. All right, don't audition for me. Just do it, huh?
Pete.
Yeah, Red.
That babe's here again.
I know. All right, what do we got up next?
Working up a head of steam, Pete.
Well, she's beginning to make me feel like a wayside shrine.
You.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a request? A number you'd like to
No,
have?
I got no request, but the lady, she's got a request.
The lady?
What's the matter? You don't see the lady? How come you don't see the lady when she's looking right at you?
Oh, that lady. Yeah, sure, I see the lady.
So why do you make like you don't see the lady when all the time you know the lady's looking right at you?
Look, friend, I'm only a poor underpaid employee in this trap. Now, my contract says I'm to play music to please the patrons. I'd be very happy to do anything the lady likes to please the lady.
So, all right.
So what does she want me to do?
Well, she wants you to have a drink with her.
Sure, that'd be an honor. But I'm afraid that Mr. Lupo, he's my boss, you know. George Lupo, the proprietor, he doesn't like his employees to mingle
I will
with
talk to Lupo. He'll like it.
Yeah, you could probably make him love it.
Come on.
I'll be right back, Red. Use some nickels.
Right, Petey. Vita, this is Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly, this is Vita Brand.
Sit down, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, thanks.
All right now, Vita? You happy?
I'm getting happier by the minute.
Sure, you want me to go back to bar?
Sit here, it's more friendly. Hello, Pete.
Hello, Miss Brand.
Vida.
Vita?
You like my name?
Sure, it's beautiful.
Vida. I only just got it last week.
It'll take a little time to break it in,
Let
huh?
me hear you say it.
Vida.
Yeah. I like the way you say it. Like you mean it.
Yeah, I do. I never meant anything more in my life.
That's because you're sincere. I knew you were sincere the first time I looked at you. Remember the first night I came in? Sat here and looked at you.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty busy up there, you know.
Ain't slept a wink since that night.
Well, maybe if you go home and put your mind to it, huh?
No use, Pete. I tried. Nothing's any good. Nothing I can do is going to change it.
Change what?
The way I feel.
Sick?
Yeah.
With what?
With love.
Oh.
Poor Vita.
Yeah, well, beautiful girl like you, no trouble finding another man.
I don't want another man.
You don't want another man.
I want you.
That's what Vita wants, you.
I love you, Pete.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's the way it ought to be. Everybody love everybody else. It's a better world. Well, I got a number to do.
Now, you shut up. The lady is trying to tell you how much she loves you, so pay attention.
Yeah.
First time I saw you, Pete, hit me like a dum-dum bullet.
Well, excuse me. I have to earn a buck.
Frame it. It's the last one you'll have to earn.
All right. Let's do one. What do you got up?
Till we meet again.
All right.
Petey.
Yeah, Red.
That babe, I got the rumble on her from Lupo.
Yeah.
Ever hear of a citizen named Bacalides? The 3-for boy? 3 killings for the price of 2?
All right, Red. Funnel it down, huh?
She belongs to Bacalides. Loser, Petey. Loser.
Yeah, you told me what. Now tell me how. Well, let's try one. Let's do it till we meet again. All right, we'll make a slow intro out of the last 8. We'll go back to the top. Nick, you take the first 4 going in. Everybody got it? All right. Let's try it. Come on, let's all play it, huh? All right, once more.
Nervous, Petey?
No, I'm not nervous. Now, come on, everybody, once more. All right. No break.
Pete, Gunsel's heading this way again.
Yeah, I know. What do we got up next?
Bruce, sweet little you, and in addition, one
All right. Now, look, friend, I got a job to do.
From it. Let's go.
Where?
Now, you listen, Buster. This ain't a lollipop poking you in the gut. I can drop you and be out of here before you hit the floor.
Yeah, let's go. Well, we went outside. The Hispano out in front probably wasn't as long as it looked. We've got fairly short blocks in this part of town. Vita took the wheel. She banked low around the corner, pulled out of a half Immelman, gained a little altitude, and flew blind for downtown Kansas City. Vita glanced at me from the corners of charged eyes. Itch just glanced at me. I leaned my head back and closed my eyes. The Hispano whipped down Main Street, lost altitude as we gained the deserted financial district, made a perfect no-point landing at the side entrance of the Grundy Bank and Savings. Well, we went into the bank through the family entrance. One light was burning, and it hung low over the biggest dice table I ever saw in any bank. The stick man was busier than a flea on a fat lady. He called the plays and called the points, and not one of the 50 torpedoes glanced at us as we climbed a short flight to an upstairs office. Two men were in the room. One, a shadow dressed in dark clothes, looked through a small window onto the dice game down below. A Tommy gun rested easy across his knees. The other man sat behind a desk no bigger than the loading platform at Union Station. He was counting money. Neat, orderly piles of bills were stacked around him like a well-trimmed hedge. We waited while he finished thumbing a book of 50s. He just held them up to his ear, fanned them once, made a note on a pad by his elbow. Finally, he turned his swivel chair to face us. It was all chin and jaw. He leaned back, made a church steeple with his fingers, drew me a credit manager's smile, and rocked his chair gently to and fro.
Well, come in, Mr. Kelly. Sit down. You're among friends.
Yeah, thanks.
Pete, permit me to introduce you to this here gentleman here who's very fond of you.
Sure, everybody loves me tonight.
Oh, he doesn't love you. Only I love you. He's merely very fond of you.
I am Bacalidis.
Yeah.
He's confused. Ain't he cute? Ain't he cute when he's confused?
What is your confusion?
How much time do you have?
I'm at your disposal.
Well, look, it runs something like this, Mr. Bacalidis. I play cornet, see? At 417, I mind my own business. I try not to poke a thumb in anybody's eye. Well, I noticed this young lady here sitting out front, and tonight she asked me to have a drink with her. Well, naturally, I'm flattered.
Yes,
but,
yes, I know all this, but what is your confusion?
Well, it seems that this young lady here has some kind of an idea that she sort of likes me and...
Loves you, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, well, loves me, like you say. Well, I don't figure myself for no Rudolph Valentino, so I get an idea that it's a rib, and especially since I know how both of you...
Not both. One. Me, I love Vida very much.
Oh, darling, you're sweet.
Yeah, that's right, for a fact. And when Vida thinks it over, I'm sure
There's nothing more to think over, Mr. Kelly. Vida has stopped loving me, all right, I face it. It makes me very unhappy, but I face it. Now she loves you. She wants you. I know how unhappy this can make her. I do not like for Vida to be unhappy, so Vida and me, we talk it over. We decide you will marry Vida.
Thank you, darling. You're sweet.
There's nothing, Vida. You know how I will do anything to make you happy, anything.
All right, now how about doing something to make me a little happy, huh?
But I give you Vida.
Yeah, well, I pass.
You refuse?
Oh, Pete, you don't mean that.
You have made Vida cry. I do not like to see Vida cry. Tell her you do not mean that.
Goodbye, friend. I got a number to do at 417, and it ain't Here Comes the Bride.
Yeah. Pick him up.
On your feet.
You will ask Vida to be your wife.
What's the next best offer?
Itch, don't hurt him.
I won't.
All right, Itch. I think Mr. Kelly wants to say something.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Huh?
Who am I?
Huh?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Whiskey. Put him in that chair.
Come on, boy.
Hold his head back. All right, he is fine now.
Yeah. All I need is a few kind words.
I will give them to you. Just repeat after me. Vida, I love you.
Vida, I love you.
Mean it.
Vida, I love you.
Oh, Pete.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
Oh, darling, of course I will.
Congratulations. We drink to it. To the happy bride and groom. Long life.
Long life.
Long life.
Yeah.
Now, here's how. Tomorrow afternoon, you and Vida will marry in City Hall. Itch will be best man. Then you go on a nice long honeymoon, drive to Canada in my Hispano, which I give Vida for a wedding present.
Look, I got a job here in town, 417 Cherry.
Go back to that crib. Tell the boss you quit. Tear up your cornet.
I'm loaded, Pete.
Loaded.
All right. Here's a pound of 50s. Tomorrow morning, you buy some clean clothes, top to bottom, inside and out. You will meet Vida at City Hall, 2 o'clock. Here's the key to the Hispano. Take it. Now kiss Vida good night.
Yeah.
Good night, Angel. I'll be the happiest bride in the world.
Sure.
And you'll be the happiest bridegroom.
Yeah, or the saddest step. Well, I left the office inside the spin of a top. The Hispano stood by the curb, sleek and calm, just like nothing had happened. Nothing at all. Well, I pointed for the 12th Street Bridge, made the other side of the river, and set a course down Boulder Road for Fat Annie's place. Oh, I tried to imagine life with Vida Brand. And then I thought of 6 painless ways of committing suicide. And I began to feel better. Fat Annie's place was doing a fair business for the lull hours. Maggie Jackson was standing back by the piano. I groped my way to the bar, ordered a bromo and ammonia, and listened.
All right, for the wealthy gentleman from Detroit. He needs me. All right, Ray. He needs me. He doesn't know it, but he needs me. And so no matter where he goes, though he doesn't care, he knows I'm there. He needs me. I gotta follow where he leads me, or else he'll never know that I need him just as he needs me. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulate me, Maggie.
Congratulations. What for?
Let's get back here. I want you to be the first to know. In here.
Pete, who worked you over?
You ever hear of a nail named Vida Brand?
Vida? Why, she don't weigh hardly enough to beat the white of an egg.
What do you know about her, Maggie?
Nothing much for sure. Only she's Bacalides' package, and that makes her a package nobody tampers with. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody but me.
Not if you love life, you don't.
I gotta.
Who says?
Bacalides says.
Petey, you all right?
Till tomorrow at 2 o'clock, yeah.
What's then?
Then's the wedding.
Who?
Mine and Vida Brand.
Petey, you've gone simple for sure. You know what Bacalides will do to you?
Look, Maggie, I just left Bacalides and Vita.
Catch you with her?
Look, that way I'm healthy. If he catches me without her, I'm dead in my socks.
Petey, you're taking those risks too fast. Slow it down a little. Bacalides, he's just crazy about that woman. Remember Albino Artie? He once looked at Vita like Bacalides didn't buy. That was 6 or 7 weeks ago. You seen Albino Artie for the past 6 or 7 weeks? No, nobody has.
Well, hear this. Bacalides orders me to marry Vita at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now square it for me. Why?
And Vita, what does she say about this?
Only that she loves me.
She tell that to Bacalides?
Right to his platinum teeth.
I'm getting that feeling, Petey, like my grandmother used to get.
And what's it tell you?
That Vita's preparing herself to be a bride and a widow both in the same day.
Yeah. Well, I better move.
You do that, Pete. Fast and far.
So long, Maggie. I will.
And if I were you, I wouldn't stop moving till I heard him speaking foreign languages.
Well, marry Vita and I'm a dead bridegroom. Don't marry Vita, I'm a dead bachelor. Well, I decided to try to be a live fugitive. I raced the Hispano back across the river, pulled up sharp in front of 417 Cherry. The brakes never made a sound. Lupo was pounding the cash register with both fists. He threw the usual glare at me as I pushed through to the bandstand. Hold it down, huh? Hold it down. Let's do this one real fine, for me. It's my last time around.
See?
Yeah, Red.
You being pushed out?
Yeah, it's that or carried out. All right. Let's do Singing the Blues, huh? Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That'll do. Now, look, boys. I'm not going to be around for a while. A little business I got to take care of. Well, you'll hear from me, so just keep at it right here until... Red?
Yeah, Pete?
In the alley, huh? Look, Red, I'm in a jam.
What can I do to help you?
Thanks, but nothing. I got to keep moving. Maybe cool off in a couple of weeks. Maybe not. Meantime, try to keep the boys together, huh?
Sure.
Well. So long, Red. Take care of yourself, huh?
Easy. Need anything? A couple of bucks, Erskine? Anything?
No, I'm fine. I'll see you. Wasn't easy. I was going to miss the boys. I missed Red already. No, it wasn't easy. But there was only one exit. I drove around to the rooming house, raced up the stairs. All I had to take was a clean shirt, my other suit, and my book of arrangements. I'd hightail it east, just keep rolling till I ran out of road. That was the plan, until I got to my room. She was stretched across my bed, and she looked right at me as I came in. And there she was, on my bed, looking right at me, but I was all alone. Now, Vida would never be anybody's widow. She was too dead to say I do. The stocking from her left leg was where no girl's stocking ought to be, knotted tightly around her throat. Well, I tiptoed back to the door, as though she was a light sleeper. I closed the door very gently behind me, and then I raced down the 3 flights into the street, into the Hispano, and into high speed. There was no lambing out of this one. You just don't hit the road in a car belonging to the stiff you leave behind. For such violations, the law is strict. Also, Bacalides. Well, I pulled up hard in front of Sour Sammy's joint. This time, the brakes cried. Barney Ricketts was sitting at his usual table in his usual state, boiled and loud. Barney's the only ex-bootlegger in the country who went broke in 1922. He says he did that to aggravate a couple of prohibition agents he hated. Well, Barney saw me come in and waved me over to his table.
Ah, Pete Kelly. Welcome, Petey, and have a drink.
Look, Barney, I'm up to my eyes.
Nonsense, Petey. You haven't even opened them yet. Ah, here we are. A drink for you and a drink for me.
Now, listen, Barney, I'm in trouble.
Petey, I have suddenly become oppressed by the state of the world. Well, it's my own fault, Petey, my own fault. I make it a rule never to look at the public prints. But tonight, well, just listen to these few choice items.
Now, look, Barney, right now I'm a moving target for Bacalides' gun.
Last night's edition of the Star. Look here, Petey, September 8, 1923. Girl forced to leap from stranger's automobile. But let us remember, Petey, that the only girls who leap from strangers' automobiles are those who climb into them. And here, look here.
All right, Barney.
California politicians say they are responsible for President Calvin Coolidge's success. Probably insist, Petey, that it's in honor of their state that he's called Cal. And this, Petey...
Barney, look, there's a dead girl in my room.
German Marx quoted at 28 cents per million. So you see, Petey, even a German millionaire is pushed hard to feel like 30 cents.
Now, look, Vida Brand, Bacalides' girl, she's dead, Barney, in my room.
Well, now, that's most careless of you, Petey.
If I run, it's the law, Barney. If I stand still, it's Bacalides.
How did you get mixed up with Vida Brand and Bacalides?
I don't know. I'm still in last week's fog. She wanted to marry me. Bacalides said I would or else. Why, Barney? Why if he torched for her?
Very simple problem in human relationships, Petey. Tonight, the word got out that Muggsy Brand was sprung.
Who's Muggsy Brand?
Vida's father. He was sent up last year. Vida's his whole life. He tried to guard her like Lupo guards his cash register. He hates Bacalides, and if he learned that he and Vida...
Yeah, now it's coming into focus.
Sometimes, Petey, you're dull-witted. Dull-witted, but stupid.
So Bacalides and Vida rigged it to disarm her old man. She marries me, takes the heat off Bacalides.
Splendid, Petey, splendid.
And her old man winds up throwing the knife at me. All I got to do now is explain Vida's body in my room to Muggsy Brand.
Precisely what Bacalides expects you to face.
All right. Do the rest of it together for me, will you?
Bacalides is married. He could never square himself with Vida. He got in deeper than he wanted to. He couldn't dump her because of Muggsy coming out. So he ties her onto you, gets her up to your room, leaves her dead on your bed.
How do I back out of this one, Barney?
Do you know where to reach Bacalides?
Yeah, at the Grundy Bank.
His dice game?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, go there. See Bacalides, lay it on the line for him. All the way, just like we talked it here.
Well, they'll cut me down.
You might.
How much edge do I have?
Not quite enough to shave with.
But maybe just enough to cut my throat, huh?
It's your only chance, Pete. You're in the middle of a three-way push. The law, Bacalides, Muggsy Brand.
All right, Barney. I'm counting on you on the outside.
Don't worry, Petey. I'll be there with bells on.
Yeah, make sure they don't toll for me. Well, I went back to the Grundy Bank and Savings. I had no trouble getting in. The game was just heating up. I stalled around the dark edges of the table for a minute and laid a few bucks on the field. Upstairs, the light was on in the office. The boy with the big piece was still sitting at the window. I could see the head and shoulders of Bacalides. He was still counting money. I started slowly up the stairs, went into the room without knocking. The muscle man swung sharp, pointing the heater at my stomach. Bacalides, fast for a big man, flung out a hand and knocked the gun out of line.
Hold it. Next time knock, or you pick up a lot of weight.
Yeah, or a silk stocking around my neck?
No, for you a knife. From the fingers of the best shiv man in the country.
Muggsy Brand?
Don't try to run, Kelly. He likes a moving target. Just go to him. Tell him his daughter is in your bed, a stocking around her throat. Tell him you don't understand any of it. He will be very sympathetic.
Oh, that's nice, Mr. Bacalides. You set it up real nice.
Smart, huh?
Sure. You persuade Vida to buzz it around that I'm number one. Everything fixed for her father's ears. Even get her to help you push her across by going up to my room.
You tell a good story, friend. Maybe too good.
Oh, put that rod down, Bacalides, before you drop it and break your toe.
Maxie, take him downstairs. Come back alone.
Petey, look out. Get down. Muggsy.
Barney, you all right?
Shell shock.
Muggsy Brand?
Yes, Pete. I knew where he was. All he heard was Bacalides. Kelly.
Yeah, Muggsy.
Bacalides. I got him?
He was between the guns. Not much left of him. Or his trigger man.
Or me. Now listen. You might poke. Money. Take it. You might get a good burial.
Easy, Murphy, huh?
She was only a kid. Maybe if she met a guy like...
He's gone, Pete.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Pete? A guy like who?
Who knows, Barney? Who knows?
Pete Kelly's Blues, starring Jack Webb, with story by Joe Eisinger and music by Dick Cathcart, scoring by Matty Matlock. The music of Pete Kelly's Big Seven and Maggie Jackson is now available on phonograph records.
The proceeding was transcribed. It's the Silver Jubilee on NBC. There's another thrilling adventure in store for you tonight with Les Damon as the hard-hitting adventurer known as the Falcon. Later, hear the best in music, the tunes which America is singing. Yes, we bring you a sparkling new program devoted to the best in popular music and presided over by well-known musical director Meredith Wilson. Tonight, make a listening reminder to hear Meredith Wilson's Music Room. Les Damon as the Falcon, tonight on NBC.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Chesterfield, the only cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king size, brings you Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned a burglary detail. A string of store burglaries takes place in your city. The thieves work at night. They leave no physical evidence behind. Your job, get them. Thousands are changing to Chesterfield, both regular and king size, because Chesterfield is the first and only cigarette to give you premium quality in both sizes.
That means king-size Chesterfield contains tobaccos of better quality and higher price than any other king-size cigarette.
The same fine tobaccos as in regular Chesterfield. There is absolutely no difference, except that king-size Chesterfield is larger, contains so much more of the same tobaccos, it gives more than a fifth longer smoke. Yes, more than a fifth longer smoke from king-size Chesterfield.
So remember, Chesterfield is the only cigarette to give you premium quality in both regular and king size.
Buy 'em either way you like 'em, regular or king size. You'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder. Yes, Chesterfield is best for you.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, January 23rd. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Wisdom. My name's Friday. We were on our way out from the office, and it was 10:36 a.m. when we got to the corner of Constance and Westlake. Nichols Dry Goods Store.
Yes? Something I can do for you, gentlemen?
Yes, ma'am. We're police officers.
Oh, yes, about the robbery.
Yes, ma'am. Are you Gladys Nichols?
Yes, I am. I'm the owner. I found out that the safe had been robbed.
I think you mean your safe was burgled, Mrs. Nichols.
What?
Well, you're safe. It's a technical term. We refer to it as having been burgled, not robbed.
Burgled. Robbed. They took the money out of it.
Well, you see, ma'am, a lot of people make that same mistake. A safe is burgled and a man is robbed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I came in this morning. I didn't get your name.
I'm sorry. My name's Friday. This is my partner, Frank Smith.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you.
How you doing?
Like I said, I'm Gladys Nichols.
Yes, ma'am. Now, if you just tell us what happened here.
Oh, sure. Well, I came in this morning, 8:30, just like I always do. Been doing the same thing for the past 10 years. 8 years at the old location. Always opened exactly 8:30 on the dot.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Nichols. I took my maiden name when my husband died.
I'm sorry. You go right ahead, please.
Oh, sure. I came in at 8:30 this morning, opened the door, and came on in. Everything looked just like it should have. Hung up my coat, then I rolled up the shade on the front window. After that, I opened the safe, and that's when I knew that I'd been robbed, burgled.
That's right, ma'am.
I could tell it right away. Safe was empty, not a bit of money left. Cleaned it right out.
Do you know how much money there was in the safe, Miss Nichols?
Oh, yes. $423.76. I know exactly.
Yes, sir.
Can't understand it either. It should have gone off. Should have worked. Can't understand why it didn't.
What's that, ma'am?
Burglar alarm.
Oh.
Yes, not a peep out of it. Nothing. Man that sold it to me said that if anybody so much as looked at something and thought about stealing it, the alarm would go off. But like I said, not a peep. Oh, I wonder if you'd excuse me for a minute. There's Mrs. Johnson, old customer.
Yes, ma'am.
It won't take a minute.
You bet.
Good morning, Vera.
Morning, Gladys. I want a pattern and some material.
All right. What pattern do you want?
Oh, I was over to the Pomquits the other night. Barbara made some of the cutest pillows I ever saw. Looked like pieces of fruit. You know, watermelon, strawberry.
Oh, yeah, I know the ones you mean.
She said she saw them in a magazine. Sent for the pattern, but I thought if anybody'd have had it, you'd be the one. Have you?
Sure. It's new. I just got it in a couple of days ago. I guess you heard about my being burgled.
No. Really?
Sure, last night. Those two gentlemen back there from the police come in to talk to me about it.
And you were really robbed?
Burgled, Vera. A safe is burgled. A man is robbed.
Oh.
Now, is this the pattern you want?
Yes, that's the one. See there? I want to make the slice of watermelon and the strawberry. Think they look real nice on the bench in the parlor.
Oh, yes. Yes, they sure would.
Faye saw those things. Said she wanted to make some. You see them, Joe?
No, I never have.
They're real nice. Probably not too comfortable, but they sure look pretty.
How much material do I need for just the two?
Well, I'm not sure. Have to look at the pattern. You want just the melon slice and the strawberry, is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the melon, you need, let's see. You want it out of cloth or plastic?
What?
Cloth or plastic. You can make them out of either.
Cloth, I think. Yeah.
Faye's going to use plastic. It's better for the kids.
Yeah.
You'll need 3/4 yard of red and 1/4 yard of green felt for the hull and stem. That's for the strawberry. And then for the melon, you'll need 1/2 yard of white, 1/2 yard of pink, and 1/2 yard of green.
All right.
Now, how about embroidery cotton? You'll need 4 skeins of 6-strand black.
I have plenty of that.
Well, I'll measure it out for you. Sure had some excitement around here this morning. All those policemen running around looking for fingerprints and clues. It was real excitement.
Mm-hmm. They caught the man yet?
No, that's what those 2 men are here for now. Want to ask them some questions.
Certainly don't look like policemen.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, you know, they don't look anything like they do in the movies.
Never do. Now, you will need some muslin for this, too. You want to get it now?
No, I'll pick it up later. Got to get some batting, too.
All right.
That's the stuff that gives Faye trouble. What? Batting. You know, the stuff you put inside the pillows. Faye always has trouble with it. Stuff always creeps down to one end of the pillow. You got one real fat end, and the other one just hasn't got anything in it. It's kind of uncomfortable when you sit on it.
Yeah.
Just put that on the bill, will you, Gladys?
You betcha.
Sure hope you get the burglary all straightened out.
Oh, I know they will. Thanks for coming in. Now then, I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
That's all right, ma'am. About that burglar alarm.
Yes?
Well, about the switch. Are you sure you turned it on when you left the shop?
Sure, you just bet I did. I always do. Right after I pull the shade down, I always switch on the system. It's supposed to ring when anybody tries to get into the place. Didn't work this time, not even a peep.
Well, now you say this time. Do you mean that something like this happened before?
Oh, no, just a figure of speech. No, never been anything like this before.
I see.
Did you notice anything disturbed in the place when you came in? Anything that made you think something might be wrong?
No, not a thing. Came in, rolled up the shade, and then opened the safe. That's the first I knew about it. Somebody opened it up. Must have known the combination. Just opened it up and took the money.
Well, does anyone else have a key to your front door here? Anyone besides yourself, I mean?
Well, there's Alan.
Alan?
Yes, Alan Hoffman. He comes in, straightens up for me. He's a decorator. Or at least he's trying to be one. He likes to come in and putter with the material. He works in some sort of store during the day, and then he comes in here in the evenings and works with the material. You know, tries out different things.
Yes, ma'am. Does he have the combination to your safe?
Oh, no. I'm the only one who has that.
Do you know if he was in here last night?
No, I don't. But I know that Alan wouldn't do a thing like this. I'm sure of that.
How is it you let this Alan have a key to the place, ma'am? Let him have the run of the place when you're not here?
Oh, well, I've known Alan for a long time. I knew his mother. We've always been good friends. Once in a while, he gets a commission to a house, and he always gets the material he needs from me. Oh, he's awfully nice. You'd like him.
Yes, ma'am. You know where we can get in touch with this Mr. Hoffman?
Sure, I can give you his address. Lives over on 9th. Got a real cute place. All modern and all. He does those mobiles. You know those things made out of wire and plastic, hangs from the ceiling? Just hang there and go round and around. It's a new art form.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't understand them myself, but I guess there are a lot of people who do.
Yeah. Are you insured against theft, ma'am?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have any insurance against theft?
Sure, I have insurance. By golly, that's the first time I thought about it. I always thought that it was kind of a waste of money. Sure glad I have it now. This whole thing won't cost me a cent.
Well, now, outside of this Hoffman, do you hire anyone else in the store here?
No. Well, I don't pay Alan anything. He just comes in and putters. But there's no need for anyone else in the store. I have a man come in once in a while to wash the front windows, but no one steady.
Has there been anyone around regularly? Anyone who'd be in a position to learn the combination of the safe, ma'am? Find out where the switch to the burglar alarm is?
No. No, not that I can think of. Of course, most of my customers are pretty regular, come in all the time, but I'm pretty sure that none of them would do a thing like this.
What if you could give us a list of the people who come in regularly, Miss Nichols?
Sure, I can. But I don't want you to go around bothering them, asking a lot of questions, causing embarrassment. I just won't have it. Money just isn't that important. It doesn't make that much difference, especially since I'm insured.
Well, we won't embarrass anyone. It's just that we'd like to have the list if we could.
Oh, well, all right.
What time did you close the store last night, Miss Nichols?
6:10. Same as always.
Did you lock the store yourself?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you notice anyone loitering around outside? Anyone who might have looked a little unusual, like they were waiting for you to leave?
No, I don't think so. If there was anyone, I didn't notice them.
Did you leave any sort of a light burning in the place?
I beg your pardon?
Well, a night light. Do you leave one burning when you close up?
Sure. That lamp on the counter, old coffee grinder. I leave that on. Has a 150-watt bulb. Throws a lot of light. Of course, you can't see anything from the street when I close up. Just a lot of shadows.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I pull the shade down when I leave. Once I had some material fade that was in the window. Since then, I pull the shade down. When it's down, you can't see inside in the street at all.
Uh-huh.
Say, if you don't mind, I'd like to make a phone call.
Of course, ma'am.
I want to call those people and tell them what I think of them. If they're going to have to make good on that guarantee.
Who's that, ma'am?
Burglar alarm people. Thing didn't work at all. Not even a peep.
11:18 a.m. Frank and I checked by the crime lab to see if they'd been able to come up with any physical evidence from the scene of the burglary. As in the previous cases, there was nothing to work on. For the past month, a series of burglaries had been taking place in the same one-block area. The M.O. in every instance was the same. Somehow, the doors to the shops were being unlocked, the safes rifled, and then closed up again. In those stores where there wasn't a safe, merchandise was stolen. In all of the burglaries, whoever was responsible for them got away without leaving a trace of physical evidence behind. Store employees were interrogated, owners were questioned. None of them could give us any leads. The M.O. had been run through the stats office, but they couldn't help us. Stakeouts had been placed on the stores. Extra men were sent out from Metro Division to patrol the streets. The men saw nothing, but the burglaries continued. The thief or thieves seemed to know just what stores were under surveillance and seemed to keep clear of them. Wednesday, 12:14 p.m. We ran the name Alan Hoffman through R&I, but we got no make. Frank and I drove out to his home address on 9th Street. He met us at the door and asked us in.
I'm doing some work back here. Mind if I go on with it?
No, sir. You go right ahead.
Right back here, the sun porch. I got a commission to do a place I'm working on some mobiles for.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think I'll call it Doves at Sunrise. Sit down. Any place.
Yeah, thanks. Just a couple of questions we'd like to ask you, Hoffman.
Sure, what about?
Were you in Miss Nichols' shop last night?
Oh, no, why?
Can you tell us where you were last night?
Yeah, I think so. I went to an exhibition of Mobile, a place down on Pico. A friend of mine had a one-man show. Great ideas. Bad color, but great idea.
You prove you were there?
Well, sure, if I have to. What's this all about, anyway?
I understand you have a key to the shop. Is that right?
Yeah. Gladys gave it to me. I go down there and check the material, get ideas for decorating.
Where do you work, Mr. Hoffman?
Right now in a store out on Beverly Antique Shop. I want to go in business for myself, interior decoration. I've been working for it a long time. A couple of more good commissions, I'll be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Do you work at night down there very often?
You mean at Gladys's?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe a couple of times a week.
What time do you usually get there?
It depends on what I'm doing before. Usually I have dinner, then go by. Well, what's this all about, anyway? Something wrong?
Well, you probably know that there have been several burglaries down in that area lately.
Yeah, I heard about them. You figure I had something to do with them? Is that it?
Well, we're trying to find out who's responsible for them.
No, it isn't me.
You ever notice anyone around the place when you were there at night?
No, not that I remember. Hand me that piece of balsa, will you?
Miss Wood here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are.
Thanks. No, I've never noticed anyone around there.
What time do you finish up at the shop there?
Sometimes as late as 2, maybe 3 in the morning.
Uh-huh. Miss Nichols tell you where the burglar alarm switch is?
Sure, I know. Couldn't move around the place without knowing about it. Have half the police force there if that thing ever went off.
You got any idea as to how that safe could be opened by someone other than Miss Nichols?
No, she's so touchy about that safe. She never let anyone get near her when she's opening. Even after she finishes the combination, she twirls the dial so you can't tell what number she stopped on.
You've looked, have you?
No. I don't like what you're trying to say.
Well, we're not trying to say anything, Hoffman.
Well, you imply that I might try to knock over that safe.
No, we didn't say that.
You said the same thing, asking me if I'd try to see the combination.
Well, now, just take it easy, Hoffman. If you haven't done anything, you got nothing to be afraid of.
I've got nothing to be afraid of. I just don't like your remarks, that's all.
You ever been arrested? I say, you ever been arrested?
Oh, no. A couple of tickets for running red lights, that's all.
And give us the address of the place where you were last night?
Yeah, I suppose so. You guys really think I had something to do with this, huh?
We got to check everybody out, Hoffman. You came up on the list.
Well, that's all it is, huh?
That's all it is.
Well, I'll give you the address. You can check there. That'll tell you I was there till about 3:30 this morning, and then we all went out to get something to eat. I came home about 5 this morning. Went right to bed.
Anybody see you come in?
No, I don't think so. You guys figure it might be an inside job, these burglars?
Looks like it might be, yeah.
Well, that's the way I've got it figured. From what Gladys tells me, it's almost got to be.
That right?
Sure. Hand me that piece of red plastic, will you?
The what?
A piece of red plastic.
The chair?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, sure, it's got to be somebody who knows all about the stores. You know, when to hit the safes, when not to. Where they walk into the places, no marks on the doors, nothing broken.
You seem to know quite a bit about the burglaries.
Well, I heard about them, talked to Gladys. Looks like an inside job to me. Say, officer.
Yeah?
Would you hand me one of those swivels there in the box?
Where? Here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, clip it on here and hang this thing.
You just hang it up like that?
Yeah. Uh-huh. There, finished. Balance is good. Good movement. Yeah. Doves at sunrise.
That all it does, just hang there?
Yeah. Now, what do you think of it? Of course, it isn't as good as war recumbent, but gets a feeling across, don't you think?
Yeah. Sure does. Doves at sunrise, huh?
Yeah. Doves at sunrise.
How about that?
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Joe?
Mrs. Hoffman.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Who?
What?
Doves at sunrise.
Yeah. Sergeant Friday.
Yeah.
It's your office.
Oh, thanks, Hoffman. Hello. Oh, yeah, Captain. Mm-hmm. No, we're here now. Yeah. Oh, well, he seems to. Yeah, who? All right, we'll be right in. Right, we got a call to make. What? Over on Pico? Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, right after that. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Wisdom?
Yeah, he wants to see us.
Yeah?
We probably want to talk to you later, Mr. Hoffman. We can reach you at this number, is that right?
Yeah, either here or at the shop. If I'm not at either, Gladys knows where I am.
All right, I wonder if you could give us the address and the phone number of the place where you were last night.
Sure. Yeah. I've got a piece of paper here someplace. You never can find anything when you want it. Yeah. Oh, here we go. You got to go out there, huh? You can't take my word for it.
That isn't the point, Mr. Hoffman. We can't take anybody's word for it. If we don't know it, we got to check it out, see?
suppose so. Oh, here you are. Ask for Rudy. He's the one who had the exhibition. He'll tell you.
Rudy, is that it?
Yes, that's right. I was with him all evening. He'll tell you.
Okay, thanks, Hoffman.
Oh, say,
Yeah?
I wonder if you could leave me your card and phone number?
Yeah, sure. Here you are.
Thank you. I'd like to give you a call.
Sir?
I'm holding my own show of mobiles. I'd like to have you two guys there.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You bet. I'll be calling you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. What'd the captain want? Oh, he's raising the roof. Says he just got a call from the corner pocket. They're leaning all over him. Yeah? Says he's tired of answering questions. Says we better come up with some of the answers for him. 12:58 a.m. Frank and I drove over to check on Alan Hoffman's alibi. We talked to Rudy Nixon. He told us that Hoffman had been with him until around 4:30 that morning. At that time, Nixon had dropped Hoffman off at his apartment. We drove back to the office and ran the name Rudy Nixon through R&I, but we got no make on anyone answering his description. 5:45 p.m., Frank and I reported for stakeout duty. The night went slow and we came up with nothing. The next morning at 8:16 a.m., we checked back into the office. You know, as soon as we get this thing over with, I'm going to sleep a week.
Oh, man, you got company. I'm going to tell Faye to send the kids out of town. If anybody calls me, tell them I just left for Hindustan by fast freight.
Well, how'd it go?
Nothing, Skipper. Sat there all night, not a thing.
How about the other guys? Anything from them, Skipper?
No, I just checked with Metro. None of their cars saw anything. The other men out there came in with the same. No, got it. Burglary wisdom. Yes, ma'am. Well, what time was it? Right, we'll send a couple of men right out. Here's the address. And hit again.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
Chesterfield is best for you. But let us give you the facts, and then you be your own judge.
Chesterfield is the first cigarette to present this scientific evidence on the effects of smoking.
A medical specialist is making regular bi-monthly examinations of a group of people from various walks of life. 45% of this group have smoked Chesterfield for an average of 10 years. After 8 months, the medical specialist reports that he observed no adverse effects on the nose, throat, and sinuses of the group from smoking Chesterfield. I'd say that means real mildness.
And Chesterfield is the first and only premium quality cigarette available in both regular and king size.
So buy 'em either way you like 'em, regular or king size. You'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder. Yes, Chesterfield is best for you.
Thursday, January 24th, 8:52 a.m. Frank and I drove out to see the latest victim of the burglars. The crew from the crime lab arrived and went over the place. The M.O. was exactly the same as in the previous thefts. The front door had been unlocked, the safe had been opened, the contents taken, and then the safe closed. There was no physical evidence. However, on one point, the thief had varied his method of operation. The latest victim was the owner of a radio and television store. A check of his stock showed us that an expensive record player and a large stock of records were missing. We checked Metro Division, but they told us that none of their cars had reported seeing anyone on the streets carrying anything that fitted the description of the missing merchandise. The serial number of the set was given to us, and a local and an APB was gotten out on it. We talked to Lieutenant Stevens at Metro, and he agreed to double the number of cars cruising in the area that night. 3 more teams of men from burglary were assigned to the stakeout detail. 6:02 p.m. Frank and I checked in for duty. Nothing happened. 2 days passed. Still no new leads. All employees of the stores that were victimized were checked and rechecked. Nothing. Saturday, January 26th. Frank and I were assigned to a toy shop in the middle of the block. We waited. 8 p.m., 9, 10:30 p.m. Nothing.
Boy, I'm stiff.
Yeah.
Joe?
Mm-hmm.
What time you got?
10:46.
I sure wish I could have a smoke.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to show. What do you think?
I don't know. Been a long time.
11 o'clock. We waited. From time to time, we could see the lights of the undercover car go by the front entrance. Midnight. 12:30. Still nothing. Joe? Want a piece of this candy bar? No, I'm not hungry. All right. Sure you don't want some? No. I don't know. We've been in every store in this block. Past months, I don't think the guy's going to show. Yeah. This car's stale? Wait a minute. What's that? Somebody's moving something. Sounds like a ventilator, doesn't it? Hey. Wait a minute, hold it. Yeah, look, see the ventilator on the far wall? Where? Is it moving? Yeah, somebody's coming out of there, see? Going for the burglar alarm. See, look at that. What did he do? Snapped off the burglar alarm. Oh. He's at the safe. Yeah. He's got it open. Come on, let's take it. All right, mister, hold it right there. Watch it, Joe. He's going for the ventilator. See him? Come on. You see him? No. He's up in there somewhere. Yeah. All right, come on out of there, mister. See him? No. I think so. Come on out of there, you. There he is, Joe. Gun flash. Yeah, I see him. All right, come on, mister. Throw that gun out here.
Get out of here, cop. You come back here, I'll kill you.
You got no place to go up there. Now, come on, give it up.
I'm telling you, you come back here, I'll kill you. I will. I'm warning you, I'll kill you. Wait a minute. Wait. Don't shoot anymore. Please, don't shoot anymore, please. I quit, please.
All right, throw that gun out here. Come on.
All right. Here it is. There it is. You got it now. Don't shoot anymore, huh?
Wait, come on out of there. Come on out of there. What do you think? You going to come out of there? All right, we'll have to go in after him. Come on, easy. Smoky in here. It's kind of a tight squeeze in it. Certainly, too. Looks like he's got some kind of a room up there. Can you see? Okay, here we are. Hey, look at this. He's got himself a room. Yeah. Dug it right out of the earth here. All right, come on. Come out from behind that crate.
All right.
Get your hands behind your head.
I'm doing like you say. See, I got my hands just like you said. I quit.
All right, I can shake them down.
Yeah. Come on.
Stand still.
Put your hands against the wall.
Yeah, he's clean, Joe. Now, what is all this in here?
Where I live.
All right, we'll take a look.
How about this, Joe? This room must be 20 feet square.
Mm-hmm. This all the stuff you stolen?
Yeah, most of it.
What's your name?
Warwick? Dan Warwick. Really had you guys going, didn't it?
All right, let's go.
Really had you. Couldn't figure it out. I used to watch you sit in the bench and watch you. Used to laugh how hard you were trying. Really had you going. Couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, sure. Come on, now let's go.
Really had you going. You never would have found me. Could have stayed here for years. Dug this room myself, every bit of it, all by myself. Stayed here when you guys were around, except when I watched you and the others. Couldn't figure out how I knew about the safes. Used to just sit there and watch them. Watch them open the things. Simple once you know how. Really had you going, all of you.
You bet you did.
Running around in circles. Real fun.
Yeah, well, we knew where we were going.
The story you have just heard was true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On May 17th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Friends, it's getting a little closer to Christmas, and there's a man right near you, your neighborhood cigarette dealer, who has a lot of fine gift ideas. Of course, he's featuring the gift of the year, the Chesterfield Christmas carton. It's the ideal gift because Chesterfield is the only premium quality cigarette available to you in both regular and king size. Chesterfield is the one I smoke, and it's the one I'm giving for Christmas. Regular or king size. Premium quality Chesterfields are much milder.
Daniel Robert Warwick was tried and convicted of burglary in the first degree, 5 counts. Said counts to run consecutively. He received his sentence as prescribed by law. Burglary in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of not less than 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 7 years of bigger and bigger enrollments, America's grade schools will need nearly 250,000 extra teachers, besides those to fill normal vacancies. Education holds America's future, perhaps your future.
You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Gwen Delano, Paul Richards. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Either way you like them, regular or king size, you'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder.
Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Tonight, more adventure with Barry Craig, confidential investigator, on NBC.
My name's Regan. I get 10 a day on expenses from a detective bureau run by a guy named Anthony J. Lyon. They call me the Lion's Eye.
With Jack Webb as Jeff Regan, investigator, stand by for hard-boiled action and mystery and thrilling adventure in tonight's story of The Lost Lady.
You'll find it in Hollywood, jammed in between Van Ness and Wilton, right off the boulevard, Taft Avenue. Starts at a furniture store, runs for about a block, and then crosses Franklin. What happens to it after that, I don't know. I only go as far as the gray apartment building on the even number side, about the first thing you see. Figures that the guy who built my place never read the earthquake laws. A good crap game and shake it loose. Well, that's where I live. Apartment 308. In the back, where I can keep an eye on a brass drain pipe and a tired-out palm tree. I got a coffee pot and a bed that comes out of the wall. It isn't much, but the phone company had to have an address. That's where I was last Monday night, about 8 o'clock. Some Cleveland fans were running up a house tab in the apartment above me when the phone rang. I thought it might be somebody from Boston. It was the Lion.
Regan, I'm calling you from the office. I stayed late tonight.
You should have joined the union.
We got a new client.
Yeah?
Her name's Isabel Sanchez. I just talked to her.
Did you make a date?
She flew in from Mexico City tonight on American Airlines. She needs help.
They're saying that about the Democrats.
Comes from a fine family, lots of influence in Mexico.
Try the State Department.
She came all the way to Los Angeles to see her sister, but she's disappeared.
Did you tell her about the Missing Persons Bureau?
I told her about you.
What do you mean?
You're going to find her sister.
I'm no St. Bernard.
You'll do till I can feed one. Besides, she could go to the Mexican Council if she wanted to.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Remember the Pan-American Conference? We gotta be nice to this dame.
Yeah, well, don't make up a contract.
I already did. She gave me $200.
What else did you get?
She'll tell you the rest.
Don't you ever ask questions?
That's your job. She's got a room at the Belmont. Hop over there and see her. She's expecting you to find her sister.
Is that all?
That's enough. Call me after you talk to her.
I hope her check bounces.
Don't worry. She paid cash.
Well, you can tell that the Lion only stayed in school long enough to learn how to spell dollar. It took me about 20 minutes to get over to her hotel. Isabel Sanchez had a room on the 6th floor, a Found it on the Wilshire side. 610 it was. She was a tall, blonde girl, not the least bit pretty. She had a mouthful of good-looking teeth, but she never learned how to use them in a smile.
You're Mr. Regan?
That's right.
Come in. Please excuse me, I'm still unpacking. Come in.
All right.
I'm so glad you're here. I suppose Mr. Lyon told you everything.
Your sister's missing. You want to talk to me?
Yes. Oh, it's terrible. An awful vacant feeling. I was so looking forward to seeing Carmen again. We were very close.
You talk like you don't expect to see her.
Something might have happened to her.
Like what?
I don't know. She's always been so independent and, well, strange.
Well, a lot of people have their own ideas.
I'm embarrassed telling you this.
You've got to tell somebody.
Well, Carmen left home against my father's wishes.
How old is Carmen?
22.
What was the guy's name?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on. I got to have it all, lady. There was a man in it.
Yes. Martin Chambers.
From here in L.A.?
Carmen met him once in Mexico City. She thought she was in love with him.
When was this?
A year ago.
She followed him back.
Yes.
You took a long time to catch up.
I've been very concerned about Carmen. I received this letter from her a few days ago. It was the first word since she left home. Here. You can see it's not much. She asked me to come here. I took the first plane.
Uh-huh. What about this address?
There's no such place. I went there right from the airport.
Who sent you to us?
You're in the phone book.
Is that all you got?
Well, I have a picture, and it isn't very good. Just a snapshot here.
Uh-huh. Blonde, huh?
A little darker than mine. She's the same height. We wore each other's clothes.
Who else did she know?
Just Martin Chambers. Oh, no. Now, wait a minute. She mentioned a Dr. Menlo in her letter.
Did she need a doctor?
She just said he'd been very kind to her.
That isn't very much to go on.
I know, but you will follow every lead.
Yeah, sure. What are you scared of?
Why do you ask that?
It's a warm night. You got the shakes.
I had a long trip.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You know this Chambers?
Yes?
You like him?
No.
What's that you got there in your hand?
An evening gown. Why?
You didn't bring that for me. Well, her story was smooth, but the clothes didn't fit. All the labels that showed said New York City. I went downstairs to a phone booth, and I got a hold of a friend of mine in the CAA. He checked into it, and he told me that nobody named Isabel Sanchez came in on that Mexico City flight. The whole thing looked phony, like a fan dancer in long underwear. Well, it was about 11 o'clock when I got over to the Lion's place. It was a cold night, but the Lion looked warm.
What do you want, Regan? I'm busy.
So am I. I've been looking at that Sanchez dame.
Tell me about it in the morning.
No, I'm going to tell you about it right now. It's no good.
What do you mean?
It's another bum client.
She gave me $200.
Her clothes are out of New York.
Maybe she came the long way.
She didn't come in on American.
So she's got a donkey. All you got to do is find her sister.
I just told you she's a phony.
Let me worry about that.
Well, you can start now. Here.
What's this?
It's a letter and a picture. That's all the lead I got.
Now, wait a minute, Regan. What about our contract?
New Year's is coming up. You'll need confetti.
I can't do a thing like that. We got a moral obligation.
And $200.
I'm thinking of our reputation. I've given our word.
Take it back.
That girl's a stranger in a foreign land. She came to us for help.
Oh, stop it, will you? If there was a quarter in the bay, you'd drop your mother overboard and tell her to hold her nose.
You're getting out of line, Regan.
If she came up with kelp, you'd ring her out for iodine.
That's enough. We got a case, and you're going to handle it.
You're going to handle it. I quit.
And I know this girl looks suspicious, but we have to give our clients the benefit of the doubt.
Why didn't you send her to missing persons?
I'll keep this picture and check with them first thing in the morning. You follow up that Menlo in the letter.
Well, a guy named Chambers has got priority.
Who's that?
The girl's got a love story.
It's getting cold out here. Check me in the morning.
I'll do that.
Remember, Regan, we always work hand in hand.
Yeah. That's why I never wear a ring. Well, it was too late to do anything else, so I went home and pulled that bed out of the wall. The next morning, I found a Martin Chambers listed in the city directory with an address on Laurel. Turned out to be a 2-story apartment building about the color of a bride's blush. And it was wrapped around a swimming pool the size of a bird bath. Chambers' name wasn't on the mailbox, but a skinny guy with a load of bed sheets told me I could find the manager in apartment 15. When she answered the door, her voice sounded like a beer truck in low gear.
Hello, Sonny. Looking for an apartment?
You got one?
No. Come on in. Having some coffee. You want some?
No, I'll pass.
You don't know me, do you?
I just got here.
I played the Palace in 26. Ah, them was the days.
Write it up and sell it to the movies.
Them slobs. Central Casting had called me in 4 years.
You got a card?
AFRA, SAG, and the Musicians Union. I play French horn. None of them call me. I figure it's a record band.
I'll talk to Petrillo.
I hate this dump. My third husband gave it to me. By the way, what are you doing here, Sonny?
I'm looking for a man named Martin Chambers.
What do you want him for?
Talk to him?
Cop?
No.
The day that guy moved in, I had him pegged for a gigolo. His hair was too curly.
Well, some women like that.
Not me. I used to have to chase him around the swimming pool to get his rent.
You're using the past tense. Where is he now?
Forest lawn.
That's one way to break a lease.
He got boozed up about 6 months ago and drove off Malibu Pier. Took them 3 days to fish him out.
Straighten his hair?
Yeah, it sure did. Oh, wait a minute here. I kind of like you, Sonny. You get around, don't you?
Yeah, when the weather's good.
Ever run into Louis B?
No, not yet.
If you do, mention my name, will you?
What is it?
Just say that Goldie McMasters was asking for him. He'll remember old Goldie.
How could he forget?
Palace in 26. Let's back
When I left, she was thumbing through an old variety. She looked unhappy, like a banjo player with a paper pick. Well, what she told me about Chambers took the leading man out of the picture, but there was a bit player named Menlo. Well, I called the office of a Paul Menlo, but they said he wasn't in that day, so I drove out to his address in Encino. It was a ranch house poured all over the top of a hill. From the looks of the place, Dr. Menlo must have been getting over-ceiling for his cough drops. I parked my car by the gate and followed the flagstones up to the front door. When I pressed the button, I heard something that sounded like chamber music. The door opened in the middle of the second chorus.
Good morning.
I want to see Dr. Menlo.
Your name, please?
Regan.
You'll have to call the doctor's office, Mr. Regan.
I already did.
And they must have told you the doctor doesn't see any patients at his home.
Yeah, well, I'm not sick.
Keep it up and you will be. Beat it, Pilgrim.
No, I came here to see the doctor.
He don't want to see you.
All right, get your hands off me, punk.
Once I hit a guy in the ear, it busted his leg.
Uh-oh.
I can handle this guy, Vicky.
Stop that. Get out, Mac.
I'll be in the back if you want.
You ever been a referee?
I've been a lot of things. Come in, Mr. Regan. I apologize for him. He's so eager. Isn't this better?
No, everybody's eager now.
Anxious is a better word. I like Blue Surge. Has an effect on me.
You're the doctor's helper?
I hold his stethoscope. My name's Vicky Starr.
I'd like to see him.
He's busy.
Where do I wait?
Might be quite a while. He just opened the bottle.
Well, then I'm right on time.
Paul's not sociable like me. He drinks alone. He gets more that way. Let me entertain you.
What can you do?
Watch.
Oh, no, easy, baby. I don't know how to fix a fracture.
I've already got a man that can do that. I want one with brains.
What's the matter with the doctor?
He keeps his in cold storage. Hasn't used them for a long time now.
Oh, I don't know. He's done all right.
This place? He'd be selling papers if his wife hadn't left him a good insurance policy.
Don't you like his money?
Don't get me wrong. I like being secure, but the girl has feelings, too.
Mm-hmm. They're beginning to show.
I'm glad I met you.
Why?
We're going to have some nice afternoons.
It's football season.
I have some free time. Want to hear me on the piano, for instance?
No, I don't sing.
I'll teach you. Paul says I should have an outside interest.
Well, keep looking. You'll find one.
You smile good, but you talk nasty.
You started this conversation, sis.
Max is still in the kitchen.
I came here to see Menlo.
You didn't say what about.
I'll tell him.
There's the phone. Call and make an appointment.
Yeah, I'll do.
Oh, Vicky, who is it this time?
His name's Regan. He hasn't got a business card.
Make sure I'm out.
You Dr. Menlo?
Yes, but I turned all my patients over to another doctor.
Yeah, well, I know one you forgot.
Tell me who.
Carmen Sanchez.
Go ahead, Vicky. I'll talk to him.
Watch yourself, Paul. He doesn't know how to be nice.
It'll only take a minute.
I'll crack some ice.
Good nurse.
She's out of uniform.
We're casual. You said I had a patient named Carmen Sanchez. Who told you that?
Somebody she knew?
Your relative?
Friend.
You heard some wrong information, mister.
I never heard of Carmen Sanchez.
I read about you in a letter.
Must have been another Menlo.
No, there's only one with a license.
You peaked, too. 25 a day?
10. I work for another guy.
Who?
Lion.
Lion's Eye. Okay. You're still at the wrong house.
You want to show me your files?
Why not? Come on.
Okay.
They keep a duplicate at home. Help yourself. Want a drink?
Too early.
You don't mind if I have one?
No.
Anything?
Not under Sanchez, no.
Now do you believe me?
She could have used another name.
Got any ideas?
Blonde girl, 5'4", brown eyes.
Means nothing.
You ever know a man named Chambers?
Yeah. In high school, back in Denver. Drove a truck.
Oh, that doesn't help.
I'm sort of retired now.
Yeah, that's what Vicky said.
Nice girl. Talks to everybody. You satisfied?
Not yet.
Don't mention. Always glad to help out. There's easier ways to make a living.
Yeah, I haven't got a wife with an insurance policy.
A year ago, I'd have broke you in half for that. Now it doesn't matter. You can find the door.
I'll be back.
Don't bother, Regan. Doctor will be out.
I left him sitting there with a glass of rye in his hand. It wasn't much of an interview, but there was a story somewhere. What Menlo didn't have in his files, he was keeping in his head, and figured he might open up if I showed him that snapshot in the letter. Well, I drove back to town. I put in a call to the Lion. Nobody answered at the office, so I went home. When I opened my door, I caught a load of taboo. Isabel Sanchez was wearing a dress she must have put on with a shoehorn.
You've got the nicest janitor. He thinks I'm your sister.
Where'd you meet him?
He was in the lobby when I came in. I've been waiting for you.
Yeah, well, we got an office, you know.
No one answered when I rang. I wanted to be sure and see you before I left.
Taking a trip?
I leave for Mexico City first thing in the morning.
Well, it was a short visit.
It was long enough.
What about your sister?
That's what I came here to tell you. I found Carmen.
Oh, you did?
Or rather, Carmen found me. I feel foolish now, calling in a detective service and all that.
Why?
Well, Carmen came to my hotel about noon today. And you imagine she's been looking for me.
Last night you said she didn't have an address.
Well, that was another silly thing. Only it was her mistake. She's not very good at details.
Where is she now?
Well, she's out buying a few things and packing. I've convinced her to come home with me.
All right. Now you want to know what I found?
Why on earth should I? I have my sister.
You were worried about a man named Chambers last night.
Carmen told me she hasn't seen him for months.
Did she tell you about her doctor?
No.
I met him. Only he said he never saw her.
Oh, is that so? Well, Mr. Regan, I do appreciate your services. Please thank Mr. Lyon for his kindness. I'm sorry I won't be able to see him.
Yeah, he's going to be sorry, too.
You'll give him this envelope. There's $100 in it.
You're paid up.
It's for all the unnecessary trouble I've caused you. And, Mr. Regan, it's all confidential.
You read the contract.
I wouldn't want any of this to get back to the wrong people.
You know some of the wrong kind, do you?
Doesn't everyone? Thank you again. Bye.
Hello?
You run any expenses on this thing today?
No, I didn't.
Good. It's all over.
Isabel said she didn't see you.
There's a guy named Gallagher in missing persons. Got an eye like an eagle. He took one look at that snapshot and opened a file.
What kind of file?
Dead and unclaimed.
What do you mean?
Carmen Sanchez has been dead a year, and the county buried her.
You are listening to the story of the lost lady, tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator. Before we continue with tonight's story, here's an important message from the Adjutant General's office. The Army Nurse Corps Reserve still has commissions available for graduate registered nurses between the ages of 21 and 45. If you believe you qualify for a commission in the Army Nurse Corps Reserve, apply to the Adjutant General, Washington, D.C. And now, back to the story of the lost lady and Jeff Regan, Investigator.
Well, there are enough angles in this thing to write a new geometry book. Isabel Sanchez came to Los Angeles to find her sister, Carmen. She called in the Lion, who started me digging. A doctor named Menlo out in Encino used a milk bottle for a jigger. He was heavy on green stuff, but light on memory, and gave me nothing but an ice cube. His girlfriend, Vicky, was a little different. She gave me a warm glow, but I still drew a blank on the missing sister. Then Isabel walked into my place and said she found Carmen and called off the chase. That's about when the Lion rang and said that he'd found her, too, only his version was a little different. She was holding down a plot in the county cemetery, been dead a year. Well, I caught a cab and I went over to her hotel. A small man with a bald head opened the door and looked at me like I was trying to crash a coming-out party.
Yes?
I'm looking for Isabel Sanchez.
Are you a friend?
She won't think so.
She's not available.
All right, I'll wait.
What I mean is, could you come back later?
What's wrong with her now?
Oh, well, you see...
All right, come on, Buster. Let's throw it in gear.
Are you a guest of the hotel?
No.
Now, could you please tell me the nature of your business?
I want to see Isabel.
I'm sorry. I can't let you in until you tell me who you are.
Regan, International Detective Bureau. She's a client.
Oh, come in. I'm Dr. Stanwyck, the house physician.
She need one?
Not anymore. Look for yourself.
Well, how long's she been this way?
2 hours, I'd say. Bellboy found her a few minutes ago. She drank a lot. Alcoholic poisoning.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Regan, when a thing like this occurs, naturally, we don't like it to get around to the other guests. You'll use discretion, I presume.
I'll be as quiet as she is.
Thank you, Mr. Regan. We appreciate it. The elevator's to your right.
I got a good memory.
Regan,
What are you doing here?
come to talk to our client.
You'll need a Ouija board.
What you mean?
She's dead.
Why'd you let that happen?
She wouldn't have done you any good.
What you talking about?
Yeah, all right. You go to Isabel. You say her sister's buried on the county, but it'll take a little cash to keep it out of the newspapers.
Not so loud.
Go back to your contest blanks, big shot. That Sanchez name didn't come from Mexico, and she wasn't rich.
You mean she's been lying?
I told you that yesterday.
All right, we'll close the Sanchez case.
Oh, no, we won't. It's still wide open.
Where you going?
To buy an Airwick. Well, I went down to the Hall of Records. It's a brown building off Temple that leans over like an old lady with a short cane. I took the elevator upstairs, and I walked down to vital statistics. The place was empty, except for a guy sitting behind the desk. He had on a black suit with dust on the shoulders. His fingernails were dirty, and he was reading a dictionary. He must have been at a good part, because he looked mad when I nudged him.
We're not out of dust. Quit shoving.
I want some information.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a public servant.
Now, let's get to the death files, will you?
You're a morbid guy. You got a lot of stuff on births and marriages. Ask me something about that.
Carmen Sanchez died a year ago in August. Tell me what from.
Okay. How'd you spell it?
Just like it sounds.
Sanchez. 17. Solas. Sanaki. Tampa. Oh. That's what happened to old Sandy. No wonder I ain't seen him around.
Get to Sanchez.
All right. I got the Sanchez. Carmen. 22, date of death, 8/30/47. Alcoholic poisoning. She drank a lot.
Who signed the certificate?
P.E. Menlo, M.D.
Thanks.
Next time, make it something hard.
All right. Try this. Menlo's wife died about the same time.
Masters, Marie, Melbourne, Babbitt, Menlo. Sylvia, 34/9/2/47. Alcoholic poisoning.
Certification?
P.E. Menlo. That guy can't keep a patient.
Well, I left and I went back out into the street. It was almost 5 and the traffic was heavy. I started to cross the street to a sandwich shop on the corner. A yellow cab raced me to the sidewalk, but I won. I went inside and a skinny waitress with peanut-colored hair brought me a cup of stale coffee and a burnt hamburger. I sat there and I tried to figure it. It was like swimming through a tidal wave in hip boots. 3 deaths from the same thing and Menlo's name on every one of them. Well, the answers weren't in the coffee cup, so I went home, picked up my car, and drove out to Menlo's place in Encino. The drive was nice, and so was the reception.
I built a fire.
I forgot the marshmallows.
We'll think of something else. You know, I'm not mad anymore.
I'm still looking for your doctor.
Let me take care of it.
No, I want to see him.
And you'll have to wait again.
When's he going to climb out of that bottle?
We had dinner at a place on Ventura. Paul found the bar. He'll stay till it closes.
I better go there.
Questions again?
Maybe.
I know some swell answers.
I'll bet you do.
I've worked for him a long time.
1 year.
How did you know? This is my night off.
You here all alone?
Isn't it terrible? Anything could happen. How do you like it?
Your way?
That's better. Now, let's have a nice, quiet evening. Just you and me. I had a feeling you'd be back.
That why you wore that?
Like it?
Well, you got talent, lady.
Discover me. It's been a famine of men like you.
You don't look underfed.
Why didn't I meet you sooner?
We didn't travel in the same crowd.
Let's start over.
Do you keep his files?
What's that got to do with us?
They'd never pass inspection.
Are you talking about something I should know?
Carmen Sanchez.
What about her?
She died. Menlo signed her death certificate.
Paul's lost a lot of patience. He's not very good. Did I tell you I played the piano?
He told me some other things.
Did I?
They make a good story.
I don't like stories.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
I thought we were going to have a nice, quiet evening.
A girl walked in his office one day and dropped dead.
Good opening. Why'd she do that?
Alcoholic poisoning. She was a nobody named Carmen Sanchez.
The story's getting dull.
There was a snapshot in her pocketbook, not much else.
When does the action begin?
Right now, lady. The doctor's wife had an insurance policy. He convinced her to take a trip.
Why do you want to do a thing like that?
So he could pull a name fix and collect his wife's insurance. He had a body.
No one will ever believe this plot.
He buried an empty box.
How do you know?
I'm going to have somebody dig it up.
What about the body?
He turned that over to the county.
Everybody lives happy ever after. Don't you like my music?
You're going to have to take up the harmonica, lady.
Why?
The gas chamber isn't big enough for a piano.
Who's going to the gas chamber?
You, maybe. An insurance fraud's one thing. Murder's a longer rap.
You haven't touched your drink.
I don't like mine that strong. Now, come on, lady. Get your coat.
Max!
I thought you were alone.
I lied.
Hello, Regan. You look excited.
He's tough, Max.
Yeah, that's easy.
Soften him up.
Oh.
I was in a white room when the trip ended. I tried to move my head, but it felt like a grand piano. So I just lay there. Pretty soon somebody put something damp on my face, and I began to see things. Vicky was there, Max. So was Menlo. If I'd have had a deck of cards, you could have played a pinochle game. Menlo looked kind of upset, like an ostrich with a sore throat. He had a needle in his hand.
I got the shakes.
You're all right, Paul. Now go ahead.
Just like Isabella.
You should have stayed out, Regan.
Oh, I wanted one more look at you, baby.
I hate to see the nice ones go, but it'll all be over in a minute. All right, Paul.
Give me a drink, Vicky.
Never mind. Hurry up.
Let me have a drink.
Oh, you're too slow, Max.
Yeah? Keep away from me, Max. I'll kill you.
Put down that
Keep
gun.
away from me, or swell.
Oh.
I told you to keep away.
Menlo slugged for care of Max, but Vicky shot Menlo twice. And his knees knocked together. He began to pitch around like a toy balloon in a hurricane. He dropped his gun, but he held onto the needle. Then he slumped forward and made a grab for Vicky, and they both went down. He jammed the needle into her arm.
Here.
Same stuff you used on Isabel?
Yeah. They'll call it alcoholic boys.
I'll straighten them out.
Regan, hold my head.
Yeah. Here.
Call a doctor.
He'd never make it.
Please, Regan. Call a doctor.
Give me 5 good reasons.
5 good reasons? I got Vicky. I'll never use a needle again. And
You only gave me 2. Well, we didn't hear from the suburbs, but there were enough ballots to make it an election. Homicide got the insurance commissioner down there, and he threw in a vote. Seems that Isabel Sanchez was Menlo's wife, only her name was Sylvia. When a dame named Carmen Sanchez dropped dead in his office, Menlo got kind of ambitious. He talked his wife into the switch, and, well, everything might have worked out. Except one night when he was seeing elephants, he told Vicky the whole thing. She set the squeeze play with Max in the dugout. When Sylvia got back and saw how things were, she called herself Isabel Sanchez and went to the Lion with a story about a lost sister. I was hired for scare work, and when she figured they had enough, she called me off, but it didn't take. And you know the rest. Well, the insurance company issued a fee for exposing a defraud, and the Lion got his picture on page 1. It was right next to Vicky's. She was wearing one of those French swimming suits. The Lion said that'd do us a lot of good. It did. We each got a free bathing suit.
Jack Webb is featured as Jeff Regan, with Herb Butterfield as Anthony J. Lyon. It's CBS at the same time next week for more hard-boiled action and mystery with Jeff Regan, Investigator. Written by E. Jack Newman and Larry Roman. Produced by Sterling Tracy. The role of Vicky Starr was played by Yvonne Patey. Lorraine Tuttle was Isabel Sanchez. Ken Christie played Dr. Paul Menlo. And Larry Dobkin was Max Brenner. Original music for this program is by Milton Charles. Bob Stevenson speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Chesterfield, the only cigarette in America to give you premium quality in both regular and king size, brings you Dragnet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to narcotics detail. You receive information that a big buy of heroin is going to be made in your city. You know the location and the man who's going to sell it. Your job? Stop him. Thousands are changing to Chesterfield, both regular and king size, because only Chesterfield has premium quality in both sizes.
That means king-size Chesterfield contains tobaccos of better quality and higher price than any other king-size cigarette.
The same fine tobacco as in regular Chesterfield. There is absolutely no difference, except that king-size Chesterfield is larger, contains so much more of the same tobaccos, it gives more than a fifth longer smoke. Yes, more than a fifth longer smoke from king-size Chesterfield.
So remember, Chesterfield is the only cigarette to give you premium quality in both regular and king size.
Buy 'em either way you like 'em, regular or king size. You'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder. Yes, Chesterfield is best for you.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, From crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, April 8th. It was windy in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of narcotics detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Kearney. My name's Friday. We were on our way to the meet, and it was 9:48 p.m. when we got to the corner of Pico and Clanton, the 617 Club.
Let's sit back there, huh?
Yeah, it looks all right.
What time you got, Joe?
9:49, why?
Well, this watch is giving me trouble.
Yeah?
I guess it's getting old.
You had it clean lately? Maybe that's what it needs.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Ran real good right after that. Just been lazy, like I said.
I think maybe you ought to have it cleaned again. I was reading where they should be cleaned at least once a year. Did you know that?
No, this is getting old, Joe. Had it for almost 23 years. Got it when I graduated from high school.
Sure looks like it's still good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir?
Coffee for me, Frank.
Yeah, please.
2 coffees right away.
I didn't see him when we came in, did you?
No, we're early. Meet's not supposed to be until 10:30.
What's that?
I don't know.
Drink your coffee. Knock it off. Well, first thing you know, you're going to have everybody in the place looking at us.
I don't care. Let him look. I never wanted to do it. I never did.
Yeah, okay, you did it. Now, nothing you can do about it. Stop bawling.
Hey, what's going on in the next booth? I don't know. I can't see.
Easy for you to say you didn't do it.
You going to stop bawling? You bring a lot of attention over here with Bokin and staff.
Can't help it. Everybody I see, it's a cop. A cop who knows all about it.
But cheap who's it done? Every time you get a couple of bells and you start to bawling. Knock it off, huh?
Knock it off. Knock it off. If I had to do it over again, it would have been different. I tell you, it would have been different.
What do you think, Joe? Oh, it sounds like you had too much to drink. I hope they get out of here. I don't want anything to louse up our body here.
Come on, let's
Sure,
go.
you can be big man. You got no worries.
Come on, let's go.
You didn't kill the old lady.
Not so loud.
You didn't kill her.
Because of the high booth walls, we were unable to tell who was doing the talking. As soon as the men got up to leave the place, Frank and I followed them. Frank stopped long enough to call our contact and postpone the narcotics buy. We followed the 2 men from the bar down the street. They walked up to Spring, and then they split up. Frank followed one of them. I tailed the other. He went directly to a hotel on West 6th Street. He stopped and talked with a hotel clerk, and then he took the elevator upstairs. I checked with the clerk, and he told me that the man's name was Sam Allison. Clerk also told me that Allison had been a resident of the hotel off and on for the past 10 years. He went on to say that every so often Allison would pack up and leave, but that he'd always return. He was unable to give me any information as to how Allison made his living or who the other man might be. 12:10 a.m. I called the office. Frank had checked back in. The man he was following had entered an all-night movie, and in the darkness, Frank somehow had lost him. I went back to the office, and we sent a radiogram to Inspector Charlie Sutton up in San Francisco, requesting all information on unsolved murders in the Bay Area in the last few months. We ran the name Sam Allison through R&I, but we got no make on anyone answering his description. 2:15 a.m. We checked out of the office and went home to get some sleep. The following morning, Wednesday, April 9th, 7:58 a.m., I checked back into the office.
That you, Joe?
Yeah.
The message in the book to call Operator 18 in San Francisco.
Would you put the call in?
No, I just got in. Figured I'd wait a minute for you to get here.
All right, let's take care of it now. Now, Operator 18, San Francisco, please. Joe Friday, Los Angeles Police Department, Michigan 5211. Yeah, that's right. Probably Charlie Sutton, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am? Oh, Charlie? Joe Friday. Yeah. Uh-huh. When? January 15th, huh? So how'd it happen? Uh-huh. Yeah. Can you talk a little louder, Charlie? Any description? Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm. Where? You sent it right down to us, huh? Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, Charlie. No, we don't know. No. Yeah, thanks again. Right, bye.
Anything?
Yeah, out at Land's End up in San Francisco. A woman was beaten to death. The San Francisco Police Department said that they'd forward all available information on the killing. From what Inspector Charlie Sutton had said, the victim had been robbed and beaten out in the Land's End area. There had been one witness to the murder, and we told the authorities in the Bay City that we would send them stand-up mugs of our suspect, Sam Allison. 9:37 a.m. Frank and I drove over to the hotel on West 6th. We talked to the desk clerk, and then we went upstairs to Allison's room.
This must be at 305.
Yeah.
I'll try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah? Who is it?
Police officers, we'd like to talk to you.
Just a minute. Yeah?
You Sam Allison?
Yeah, that's right. What's the bit?
I'd like to talk to you.
What about?
Might be better if we talked inside.
All right, come on in. Well, what's this all about?
Want to get dressed? I'd like to talk to you downtown.
What for? You got nothing on me.
Just like to talk to you. Come on, get dressed.
Oh, wait a minute. Look, you tell me what it's all about first, huh?
You've been up in San Francisco lately?
Why?
Have you?
Yeah, so what?
When?
I don't know. First of the year, I guess. Around there.
You narrow that down a little?
First part of January, I guess.
Where were you last night?
Around.
Where around?
Met a friend, had a couple of drinks, and came home just around.
Who's the friend?
Hey, look, I'm not going to answer any more of your questions until I know what this is all about.
Where are your clothes?
In the closet.
I'll get them.
We're getting real big, aren't we?
You tell us what you want, I'll get them.
That pinstripe. You know, the gray one right in front of you. You know, pinstripe?
That's it?
Yeah. Oh, in that bureau, second drawer, there's some shirts there. Give me one of the blue ones, will you? One with the tab collar and the little round things on it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Hey, when you guys figure out, let me know what this is all about.
What do you do for a living, Allison?
Oh, this and that.
All right, what's that mean?
I work with horses.
You a trainer, that it?
No, not exactly.
A tout?
No. Say, in that top drawer, there's a little velvet box. Got a collar bar in there. Would you get it for me, huh?
Here?
Yeah.
This the box?
That's right. The gold one.
Yeah. Know what you want?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got my shoes.
Wait a minute. Which ones do you want?
The black ones. It's the only pair.
Who were you drinking with last night, Allison?
Oh, like I told you, a friend.
What's his name?
Look, I told you I wasn't going to say anything like find out what this is all about.
All right, Allison, I'm going to lay this out for you. We were in a bar last night, place down in Clanton. You there?
Clanton? Oh, you mean the 617 Club?
That's right.
Yeah, I was there. So what?
We were in the booth next to you. Heard you talk about killing a woman in San Francisco.
You're wrong about that.
Yeah, sure we are. Let's go downtown.
No, I mean it. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, sure, I was in the bar last night, but I don't know anything about killing an old broad up north.
Who said she was old?
Well, you just did.
No, he didn't. Said a woman had been killed. He didn't say anything about her age.
Well, from the way you said it, I figured she was old.
No, that won't work, Allison.
Look, you got no reason to think that I did that. No, you got no reason to think that.
You admit you were up north about the time it happened. You were in a bar last night talking about it. Now, you seem to know quite a bit about the whole thing for somebody who wasn't involved.
Well, maybe I just heard about it, you know.
Where'd you hear about it?
Well, around. Well, I don't know where, but I heard about it. Maybe that's what happened. But you guys know it wasn't me. You know that, don't you?
Who were you with last night?
You the one that did it? Is that it?
I don't know. I don't know if he did it or not. I don't know anything about it. All I know is I wasn't mixed up in it. I didn't have anything to do with it.
Who's Jack Kenton?
Kenton? I don't know any Kenton.
Well, he knows you, according to this postcard in your drawer over here.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Sam, I'll be in town Monday night. Meet you at your hotel. That's signed Jack. This is a return address here, San Diego. Now, who is he?
Oh, yeah, Kenton. I forgot for a minute.
Well, maybe you forgot that he was with you in that bar last night, too, huh?
Well, what happens to me if I do remember? You going to find out?
I don't think so.
Was he the man you were with last night?
I don't want him to find out. I got big trouble if he does.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's the guy, but don't tell him I said so, will you? You won't tell him, huh? No, Jack would come after me if he knew. He's really off his rocker.
He is, huh?
Yeah, and he'd kill me if he knew. You guys are going to have trouble taking him, you know that, huh?
We are, huh?
Yeah, he's fallen a couple of times before. Done big time up at Q. Told me 100 times before. At least 100 times.
Yeah, what's that?
He killed the first cop that came after him.
11:17 a.m. Frank and I took Sam Allison down to the city hall. He was fingerprinted and mug shots were taken. A pair of stand-up mugs were sent to San Francisco immediately. We contacted the San Diego Police Department and asked them to put a stake out on the address that was on the postcard we found in Allison's room. In the event this Jack Kenton returned, they were to pick him up and call us. While we talked to them, they ran the name through their files and found that he had a minor record in San Diego dating back some 15 years. A check of our file showed that he'd served time in San Quentin for armed robbery and ADW while trying to commit a robbery. We got out a local and an APB on him. We talked to Allison. He told us that as far as he knew, Kenton was planning to return to San Diego on the preceding night. He couldn't give us any information as to where Kenton had stayed while he was in Los Angeles. 2 p.m. We got a call from San Diego that they'd picked up Jack Kenton.
2:30 p.m. Frank and I checked out a trip car and left for San Diego. We checked in with Lieutenant Mort Gear when we got there, and he told us that Kenton had been seen returning to his home right after we'd contacted them. We drove out to his place and searched it, but we found nothing to tie him in with a murder in San Francisco. 8:30 p.m. We left San Diego and returned to Los Angeles. On the return trip, Kenton was sullen and refused to answer any questions. We took him to the city hall. 1:15 a.m.
Oh, lousy deal. You guys are trying to tie a bum rap on me, and you know it.
Do we?
Sure.
You ever do any big time, Kenton?
No.
Never been in jail, huh?
Nope.
That's not what our record says.
Maybe a couple of tickets for traffic stuff.
Book says you served time at Q. How about that?
A couple of years, yeah.
Don't you figure that is big time?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Then why didn't you tell us about it?
Forgot.
You been in San Francisco lately?
Oh.
You sure?
I'm sure.
We got a rumble that you were up there around the first of the year.
That right?
Yeah.
Well, you tell your pigeon that he's not even a fruitcake if he says I was up in Frisco.
A couple other people will say you're up there, too.
Yeah, who?
A couple of people.
Well, they're offering that, too, if they say that.
The officers say so, too.
How do they figure that?
They got an ident on your picture.
I was never picked up in Frisco. They got no picture of me.
We got a few.
So I done time out L.A.
Yeah, you did. When we get a mug, we ship a copy up north. They do the same.
That right?
That's right.
So maybe I'll be big about all this. Admit I was in Frisco around the first of the year. What's that prove?
What'd you do while you were up there?
Moved around. Went up for vacation.
What do you do for a living?
A little of everything.
What's that include?
Like I said, a little of everything.
Mm-hmm. What'd you tell the parole board?
I tell them I'm a contractor.
What do you build?
Whatever needs building. I'm versatile.
You're pretty smart, too, aren't you?
Look, I know my rights. I know that you know that I'm an ex-con. You know it as well as I do. But there ain't no PV tab on my card. I don't go around the corner without telling the board. You got nothing on me for that.
They know you went to San Francisco?
Yeah, like I said, it was for a vacation.
Where'd you live up there?
Around. Hotel down on Geary.
How long were you there?
Maybe 3 weeks, month. Got a cigarette?
Yeah. Here.
Thanks. Thanks. What's this all about, anyway? What's the pitch with was I in Frisco?
You remember where you were last night?
Yeah, I was up here. I came up to see a friend.
Who's the friend?
I don't remember.
Where'd you see this friend?
Bar. Had a couple of drinks, and I went to a movie.
What bar?
I don't remember. Someplace downtown.
Over on Clanton, maybe?
Yeah, could be. Like I said, I don't remember.
We figure it was the 617 Club on Clanton.
You know more than I do.
You were there with Sam Allison, isn't it, right?
Allison? Don't think I know anybody by that name.
He says he knows you.
Allison? No, I don't think I know anybody.
All right, now let's come off it, Kenton. We know you were there. We were in the booth right next to you. We heard you talk about killing the woman in San Francisco. We heard every word you said.
Well, you must have been listening to somebody else. You got the wrong pitch all the way around. I wasn't there last night. I don't know any Sam Allison. I didn't kill anyone in San Francisco or any place else.
Bartender down there says he knows you. Says you were in the place last night. We saw you there ourselves.
You know, you guys ought to lay off that cheap booze. It's beginning to hit your eyes.
We got another witness who says you were there. He's willing to swear to it.
All right, so maybe I was. What's that proof?
Why'd you lie about it?
I didn't lie. I just forgot.
Maybe you forgot about San Francisco, too. Is that it?
No, I didn't forget about it.
You said you spent your time up north in the bar. Which bar?
Cookies.
Where's that?
On Kearney.
You got any way to prove you were there? This Cookies?
Sure. Talk to Cookie himself. He'll tell you.
What's his last name?
I don't know.
You spend all this time with him, you don't know his last name.
Cookie, just plain Cookie. That's all you need to know to get a drink.
He ever done any time?
Not Cookie. He'll do almost anything to make a buck as long as he doesn't have to work for it. But he's never fallen that I know about. He's too busy watering the booze he sells.
You ever get down there Fisherman's Wharf up there?
Nope. Never left downtown.
Then you couldn't have been down there on January 12th, now could you?
How do I know where I was on the 12th? I said I wasn't near the wharf. That means on the 12th, 13th, 14th, as far as you want to go. I don't know how else to say it. I wasn't down on Fisherman's Wharf. That where this woman got it?
Might have been, yeah. Doesn't make any difference, though. You didn't leave downtown, did you?
No, never left downtown. Geary Street for the hotel, Kearney Street for Cookies, that's all.
How about Land's End? Ever get out there?
Maybe if I write it out, maybe then you'll get what I'm trying to say. I was always downtown. I never left it. I didn't go to Land's End. I didn't go to Fisherman's Wharf. I didn't go to the tea gardens in the park. I never left downtown.
You're sure about that?
I've told you every way I know how. That's all I can do.
Yeah, well, there's something that doesn't jive here, Kenton.
What's that?
We got a call from San Francisco. They got a girl up there who was out on Land's End on January 15th. She says that she'll identify you as the man who killed the woman that night. She says she's positive.
Oh, that's why all this bit about was I someplace on January 12th, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Playing it real cozy, aren't you? Well, it won't work, cop. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm having none of it. Now, you guys go and try to figure some other way. You got nothing on me, nothing, and you know it. Now, if you're tired of playing games, either give me my walk-in papers or book me. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep.
The girl will be here in the morning, Kenton.
That's swell. I got to get my sleep then. I want to look real nice for her.
All right. Let's go.
You know, Cop, that's one nice thing about the laws in this state.
Yeah?
I don't have to do a thing. Just sit and watch. You got to prove it. Any way you slice it, you got to do the work. I don't have to do a thing.
Yeah, that's right, Kenton. There's only one little difference.
Yeah?
We make you, and you got to do the time.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action. Chesterfield is best for you. Premium quality Chesterfield.
Yes, only Chesterfield has premium quality in both regular and king size.
And only Chesterfield gives you this scientific evidence on the effects of smoking.
A medical specialist is making regular bi-monthly examinations of a group of people from various walks of life. 45% of this group, about half of them, have smoked Chesterfield for an average of over 10 years. After 8 months, the medical specialist reports that he observed no adverse effects on the nose, throat, and sinuses of the group from smoking Chesterfield. Those are the facts. I'd say that means real mildness. So buy 'em either way you like 'em, regular or king size. You'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder. Yes, Chesterfield is best for you.
3:39 a.m. We took Jack Kenton down and had some stand-up mugs made of him and sent to San Francisco. Kenton was booked at the main jail on suspicion of murder. 5:26 a.m. Frank and I checked out of the office and we went home. The next day at 1:30 p.m., we met with Captain Lorman of Homicide Division and talked over the developments with him. Together, we worked out a plan that we thought might work in getting Allison to admit to the murder. 4:15 p.m., we had Kenton brought from his cell in the main jail to the interrogation room at the City Hall. We talked to him for 2 hours. He'd admit nothing.
Where's your witness? About time she got here, isn't it?
She'll be here.
We should get this thing over with. I'm getting a little sick of playing ring around the rosy with you boys. Maybe you haven't got anything else to do, but I have.
All right, what's so important, Kenton?
Got a heavy date down in San Diego tonight. This is Friday, isn't it?
That's right.
Real doll. Been trying to date with her for a couple of weeks. Finally made it. You guys think I'll be out of here by 6?
Depends on what the witness says.
How about a cigarette, huh?
Yeah. Here you are.
I got a man. Cops find anything in my house?
What do you mean?
When they went through it. Look, I've been through this before. I know the bit as well as you guys do. Fella falls once, does some time, you cops never leave him alone.
You drink much, Kenton? You drink much?
Yeah, I have a highball once in a while. What's the matter? Something wrong with that? You guys going to give me a lecture on the evils of alcohol?
No, just trying to figure out what kind of a guy you are when you're loaded.
Well, I'm a doll. Living doll. Put on lampshades, tell funny stories. Life of the party, that's me.
You ever have a crying jag when you've been drinking?
Nope.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
The way we got it, as soon as you get a couple of belts in you, start to bawl. Now, how about that?
Whoever told you that's lying?
Seems pretty sure about it, this fella.
You seem to have a lot of information from this fella of yours. Who is the guy?
Friend of ours.
Yeah? He sure isn't a friend of mine. Got an idea who it is. Sounds a lot like my friend Sam.
That's so.
Yeah, old Sam, the working man's friend.
Rumble we got says you were with him the night before last, is that right?
Oh, yeah. This is the night you guys were in the next booth and heard all the stuff about me killing the old broad. What's this bit about a rumble? You know it and I do. You picked up Sam, he talked his mouth out to save his own skin. You guys are about as coy as a bulldozer. Why don't you come off it? You're not working with an amateur. I've been around for a long time. I know the angles. You guys got nothing on me. You got nothing because I'm clean. Just want to be big men. Got nothing else to do, so you decided to kill a little time by leaning on somebody. I happen to be around. I got a record, so I fit your program real pretty. Well, get off my back. I've had it. Now, either book me on suspicion and I'll sue you for every last dime you got, or let me go. I got a date I want to keep.
That's a nice try, Kenton. It won't work.
What do you mean?
All right, I'll lay out a few things for you.
A woman was killed in San Francisco on January 15th. You were in town that day. You got a record for robbery and assault. Woman was robbed and then killed. You got blind one night and you talked all about it. You had a real crying jag and you got worried. You talked about how everybody you saw looked like a cop. They all looked like they knew what you'd done and they were moving to nail you for it. You got a real bad case of the bull horrors. We got a friend of yours who says you could have been the guy. We got an identification from a girl who says you killed that old woman. She's on her way down here now. As soon as she sees you and makes it positive, you've had it, mister. Now that's where you sit.
You talk real convincing. Makes it sound like you really got something on me.
We have, Kenton, and you know it. Let's check and see if that girl's here.
Yeah, I will. Got a cigarette?
Yeah, here. Now, what's the matter, Kenton? You figure maybe we aren't giving you a snow job?
No, I know where I stand. I'm just getting a little worried that maybe this girl might make a mistake. It could happen, you know. It's happened before.
Is that right?
Sure, lots of times. You know, somebody watches a thing like this, they aren't sure what they've really seen. Some college back east proved it.
Is that so?
Had a deal where one of the students pretended he was going to knock off the teacher. After he'd done it, all the kids gave a different story of what happened. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't do it, then you got nothing to worry about, have you?
No, I suppose not. She says she saw the guy, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Came all the way down here to look at me, huh?
Yep.
You figure she's here yet?
Should be. Her plane landed an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. You say she identified my picture? She said I was the guy?
I didn't hear it. Just come in there.
That's him. That's the man. He killed her. I saw it. I'd never forget him. That's the man.
She's crazy. She's wrong. You know that, don't you? She's wrong.
Let him touch me. The man's a murderer. He killed the old woman. I saw him. Beat her to death. I saw him do it.
All right, lady.
Okay, yeah. All right, Miss Carter. You want to step outside?
Oh, yes, please. I want to get away from him. I don't ever want to have to look at him again.
How about it?
I didn't see her. I didn't know anybody was around. I didn't mean to kill the old woman. I didn't. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
She wouldn't give me her purse. I followed her from downtown all the way out on the streetcar. I got out and followed her. Right by Sutro's, by the Cliff House. Then I tried to take the money. She wouldn't give it to me. Only about $30. Why didn't she give it to me? $30, it wasn't worth it to her. For $30. It'd have been all right if that girl hadn't seen. I looked, tried to make sure nobody saw. I didn't see her. I didn't.
You want to stay with him, Frank, while I get the stenographer?
Yeah, Joe, go ahead.
Okay.
Did it work, Sergeant?
Yeah, it worked fine.
Funny, I was scared stiff when I went in. Wasn't sure I could carry it off.
Well, it worked fine. He copped out, admitted everything.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll go on back to work.
Thanks, Stella. Look, will you tell Cunningham that I'll give him a ring, will you?
Yeah. Say, Sergeant,
Yeah.
thanks for letting me help. You know, filing packages in R&I gets a little dull now and then.
The story you have just heard was true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On August 17th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Friends, it's getting a little closer to Christmas, and there's a man right near you, your neighborhood cigarette dealer, who has a lot of fine gift ideas. Of course, he's featuring the gift of the year, the Chesterfield Christmas carton. It's the ideal gift because Chesterfield is the only premium quality cigarette available to you in both regular and king size. Chesterfield is the one I smoke, and it's the one I'm giving for Christmas. Regular or king size. Premium quality Chesterfields are much milder.
Jack Gerald Kenton was tried and found guilty of murder in the first degree. He is now serving a life sentence in the state penitentiary, San Quentin, California.
Ladies and gentlemen, until everyone is safe, no one is safe from tuberculosis. Help save lives by buying all the Christmas seals you can and using Christmas seals on all your Christmas mail.
You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Virginia Gregg, Harry Bartell. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Sound off for Chesterfield. Either way you like them, regular or king size, you'll find premium quality Chesterfields much milder.
Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. A small boy is reported missing from his home. His age, 9 years. Foul play is suspected. Your job, find him.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Thursday, December 22nd. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the night watch out of Homicide Division. My partner is Frank Smith. The boss is Thad Brown, chief detective. My name's Fred. I was on the way into work, and it was 3:55 p.m. when I got to room 42. Homicide. Hi, Joe. Frank, what's doing? Oh, nothing. Pretty quiet. How's your mother? Oh, that cold's still hanging on. Bad cough. Doc says nothing serious, though. My kid's got the same thing. Must be some kind of a virus going around. Yeah, maybe so. Did you get all the reports from that Webster case yet? Yeah, all taken care of. Good. I get it. Homicide, Friday.
This is Levinson, Unit 11J1. Got something for you.
Yeah, Harry, what's doing?
Doherty and I are out here on Hollis Avenue, 4656, trying to track down a 9-year-old boy.
What's the story?
Kid's missing, suspicion of foul play.
Yeah, how long has he been gone?
About 2 hours. Looks like a job for homicide.
How do you figure?
The kid was last seen playing in the backyard of his home.
Yeah?
We checked over the yard.
You find anything?
Blood stains, lots of them. They look new.
Frank and I left a message for Chief Detective Thad Brown. Then we went over to the crime lab, picked up Ray Pinker, and drove out the Arroyo Seco Freeway to Hollis Avenue. It was an average neighborhood. Number 4656 was a one-story green stucco residence situated on the corner of Hollis Avenue and Harrison Drive. Beyond the backyard was a tract of undeveloped land, covered with scrub oak. Harry Levinson from Highland Park Juvenile was waiting for us in front of the house.
Back this way, fellas. You coming, Ray? Well, I got my bag.
Who notified you the boy was missing, Harry?
The mother said she went down to do some Christmas shopping about 11 this morning, left the boy home. Came back about 2 this afternoon. He was gone.
What's the name?
Johnstone. The kid's name is Stanley, 9 years old.
Was the gate open like this when you got here?
Yeah, we haven't touched a thing.
Hey, the stain's over here, Mr. Tinker, along the edge of the walk there, you see?
Yeah, on the seat. Quite a few stains, huh?
Looks like it might be blood. Try some benzidine on him. There we are. See what happened.
Where's the kid's mother now, Harry?
She's in the house. Doherty's talking to her. You talked to any of the neighbors? Yeah, the people next door, the ones on this side. They couldn't tell us anything. There it is, fellas.
Yeah,
These spots I covered with benzidine, they're turning blue. Blood stains, all right. Can't say definitely whether it's human or animal.
You have to go back to the lab and run it through?
Yeah. Biological specificity test. Any one of those glass vials in the bag, will you?
One of these?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Scrape some of these flakes off the test. There we are.
How soon can you pipe the blood for us, Ray?
Precipitin test won't run more than 20 minutes. Take 3-4 hours to run blood grouping, though. That's it. Anything else you want to check?
Let me see. Anything else?
Yeah, right here under this tin can. Empty shell.
22, huh?
Yeah, it might tie in, might not. Mark it and dump it in this envelope, will you? Sure. There you go.
You got a missing blood yet for the boy, Harry?
Yeah, Doherty did about half an hour ago. Here's a description right here.
Thanks. Mother know about the blood stains?
No, we didn't tell her. She's worried enough already.
She has no idea what might have happened to her boy, huh?
No more than we do. Checked all the friends, relatives. We're covering the neighborhood. No trace so far.
Not much to go on.
Blood stains, empty cartridge.
It could mean 100 things.
Any ideas, Friday?
Just one, and I don't like it. 4:30 p.m., Thursday, December 22nd. The neighborhood search for 9-year-old Stanley Johnstone continued. Ray Pinker went back to the crime lab to start the precipitin test and the blood grouping. Levinson and his partner Doherty from Highland Juvenile stood by. We called Chief of Detective Thad Brown, and he ordered up a special detail to aid in the search for the missing boy. Frank and I questioned the boy's mother, Mrs. Ruth Johnstone, a woman in her early 40s. She seemed fairly calm under the circumstances.
Mrs. Johnstone, is your boy Stanley in the habit of wandering off without telling you where he's going?
No, he's not in the habit of wandering off, but he has done it before.
When was the last time, Miss Johnstone?
You don't have any children, do you, Sergeant Friday?
No, ma'am.
Well, there comes that time in every young boy's life when he feels that it's time to leave home. Go out on his own. Usually happens somewhere around 8 to 10.
Yes, ma'am. I think I know what you mean. I have a boy.
Well, then you know how it is. My husband and I scolded Stanley one afternoon after school, and he was quite put out about it. Thought George and I were unfair. Packed a few of his things and left.
Well, how long was he gone, ma'am?
Oh, no time at all. About 2 hours. I was worried about him, but my husband said to leave him alone. Said every boy had to go through that stage.
Well, then you think he's gone away from home again this time, do you?
Yes, I think so. He's been gone about 4 hours now, and I have a funny feeling about it.
Did you and his father happen to have some misunderstanding with the boy recently?
Well, that's just it. We haven't. I don't mind telling you now that we're talking about it. I'm getting worried.
Any place around that you might like to visit? A hobby shop or a playground, something like that, where he might be?
Yes, there's Johnson's model shop, Little Helen Woods, but I've already called there, and he hasn't been seen all day. I've called all of his friends, and they have no idea either.
Mm-hmm. We'd like a list of all of his friends and the places that he was known to frequent, ma'am.
Yes, all right. I'll give them to you. Where do you suppose he is?
Where's your husband now, Mrs. Johnstone?
At work. George works for the city. He's a fireman.
Uh-huh. What house is he stationed at?
Engine Company 12. He's working the A platoon. He'll be home tomorrow morning. I haven't told him that Stanley's gone.
Was there any chance that the boy might be down at the firehouse with his father?
No, he seldom goes down there anymore. No, I don't think he's there. I'm awfully worried. May I call my husband?
Well, certainly. You go right ahead.
I know George will be worried. Stanley's been gone too long. Hello. May I speak with George Johnstone? This is Mrs. Johnstone. Thank you. I hate to call George at his work.
Yes, sir.
Does your husband own a gun, ma'am?
Yes, he does.
What caliber, would you know?
It's a .45 automatic. He's got it. George? Well, this is Ruth. George, is Stanley down there with you by any chance? Oh, no, I can't find him anywhere. He wasn't here when I came home from doing my shopping. There are 2 policemen here. No, I said there are 2 policemen here. No, dear, I'll call you if we don't find him soon. Oh, all right. Yes, you too. Bye. I didn't think he'd be with George.
Oh, that .45, is that the only gun in the household?
Yes. Why are you asking about guns? Has anything happened that you're not telling me about?
No, ma'am, just routine checking. We'll have to take a look at that 45 if you don't mind.
Maybe I should tell you we do have another gun in the house, but it's all wrapped up. George got it just on his Christmas present.
Well, if we can look at it, please.
Yes, will you have to unwrap it?
I'm afraid so.
I think I can reach it. You had to hide it. Let me see. Well, here's the paper it was wrapped in. Family must have found it. It's gone. You see? Here's the gift card and the box the gun came in. The rifle.
Could I look at the box, ma'am? Thank you. How about it, Joe? 22 caliber. Thursday, December 22nd, 5:15 p.m. It was getting dark. The search for the missing boy continued. We checked the list of Stanley Johnstone's friends. None of them or their parents had any idea of his whereabouts. We talked with Levinson again. He'd been in touch with the detail combing the neighborhood. They'd found nothing. We went down to Hollis Avenue and 10th Street, service station on the corner. You want a dime, Joe? No, I got one. You watch the Chief Browner. Yeah. How are you coming?
Thanks. The disturbance test is human blood. Working on a blood group now. You know what type the Johnstone boy had?
Well, we didn't want to upset his mother. Thought I'd wait till the last thing. We're in the neighborhood.
Check with the family physician. That way you won't disturb her.
Yeah, we figured on that. Keep him that way. Yeah, thanks. The boss is cold. Ray, say that Brown's out here now. Check you later, huh?
Right, Joe.
Right.
Thanks.
We just checked with Ray Pinker. Yeah, I know. It's human blood. What do you think? We talked with the boy's mother, Mrs. Johnstone. Found the gun missing. Yep. Caliber's the same as the empty casing Levinson found, 22. He said the gun was missing. Yeah, the Johnstones were going to give it to the boy as a Christmas present. They had it hidden, but it's gone now. Any idea who took it? Well, whoever it was, they left the Christmas wrapping behind. I think maybe it was a kid. 22 rifle, huh? 9-year-old boy. When are they going to learn? First, it's carbide cannons on the 4th of July. The city issued ordinance after ordinance, but a few thousand kids around the country had to lose their eyes, fingers, hands, before the parents could give us their full cooperation to outlaw them. I know what you mean. Sure you do. You and every other cop in the country became the heavy trying to clamp down on them. So it's the same story. This time it's guns for Christmas. Oh, I know what you're thinking, Chief, but we're not sure yet. Listen, Friday, there's a city ordinance against giving a gun to a kid. Now, you know that. Yeah, I know that. There's a missing boy and a missing gun. There's blood on the ground and an empty shell. That's enough for me. We're going to stay with it, Chief. Something's got to break. Yeah. I hope it's not the house of that kid's parents. Hi, Chief. I've been looking for you, Friday. Yeah, what do you got, Harry? Found the gun, a new 22 rifle. I'd say it's been fired recently. Where'd you find it, Levinson? Back up there in that scrub oak behind the Johnstone house. Mrs. Johnstone identified it. Likely took it down to the crime lab. Thanks, Harry. Miss Johnstone okay? She's pretty sick now. Could have been getting up with something else. What's that? There's another one missing. An 8-year-old boy. 6:30 p.m. We talked with Officer Killaby about the other missing boy. He told us that his name was Stephen Martin, 8 years old. His family had just moved into the neighborhood. It seemed that no one besides the Martin family knew that the boys played together. Mrs. Martin told us that Stephen told her that he was going out to play and he'd be home by 6 o'clock for dinner. She told us that he was an unusually prompt boy and almost never overstayed his playtime. We got a description of the Martin boy and put out a missing broadcast. We called the Johnstone's family doctor. He told us that Stanley's blood was type O. At 7 p.m., we talked again with Mrs. John Martin.
Are you sure Mrs. Johnson doesn't know where the boys are?
She has no idea, Mrs. Martin.
Oh, this is terrible. Just awful. I feel there's more to this thing, something you're not telling me.
Well, there's no use to upset you until we know a few more things for sure, ma'am.
Then you are holding something back.
Well, please try not to worry, Miss Martin. There's certain questions we have to ask, routine questions in any kind of investigation.
Is there anything else you want to know?
Yes, ma'am. What's your boy's blood type?
Funny question. Do you think anything's happened to him? Have you found him and you're not telling me?
No, ma'am. We haven't found him, and we don't think anything's happened to him.
His blood type, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
All
I think I have it written down in Stevie's baby book. Yes. Yes, here it is. The type is O.
Type O, thank you. I wonder if I can use your phone.
Oh, yes, of course. It's in the hall.
Be right back, Frank. Yeah.
Hello.
2667, please.
2667.
Hi, Ray. It's Friday.
Yeah, did you get the blood types on the two missing boys?
Yeah, both type O.
So were the stains, Joe. Type O.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action. The modern way to sell cigarettes is the Chesterfield way, both regular and king size. And we're the only one that does it. We tell you what Chesterfields are made of to give you premium quality in both popular sizes. Our scientists select the best materials. They select for Chesterfield the world's best tobaccos, blend them just right, and they keep Chesterfields tasty and fresh with the best of moistening agents. Now here's something else that's completely modern about Chesterfield. People smoke... 8 p.m., Thursday, December 22nd. Still no sign of either of the missing boys. Chief of Detectives Thad Brown went back to headquarters to direct the search from there. He dispatched another detail of 50 men to aid in the hunt for the missing youngsters. 8:30 p.m. It was getting colder. The citrus growers were warned to expect a freeze. We went back up the block to see Mrs. Johnstone. Her husband had quit work early and returned home. We talked with him. He could tell us nothing more than we already knew. We still had not informed either of the families about the bloodstains and the empty cartridge casing which had been discovered in the backyard of the Johnstone home. It was more than possible that they had a right to know about our findings, but Frank and I felt there was no cause to add to their distress at this particular time. If the two missing boys were found alive and well, then the bloodstains and the cartridge would be of no concern to the relieved parents. At 8:40 p.m., Frank and I left the Johnstone house and went to the home of Mr. and Mrs. John Martin.
Mrs. Martin, you said your husband worked at a market.
Yes. He telephoned about 15 minutes ago and said he was closing up right away. He'd be here any minute. I do wish Stevie would call or come home. It's so cold out tonight. All he had on was a thin cotton jacket.
We'll try not to worry. We're doing everything we can. He'll be all right.
Stevie's father's such a sensitive man. He and the boy are so close. I know he's terribly upset.
Yes, ma'am. Are you sure there's no place you might have forgotten? Some place where the boy might be?
No. No place. No. If anything's happened to the boy, it'll just kill John.
Mrs. Martin. You just sit still. I'll get it.
Thank you.
Joe? Yeah, Harry. Johnstone case been found.
He's home, Sergeant. He's come home. Thank God he's all right.
Well, where's he been? Did he tell you?
No, he didn't. His clothes are all dirty, and he's acting strange. I've never seen him like this.
How do you mean, Mrs. Johnstone?
He just came in the front door and said, "Hello, Mom," and then he sat down in a chair and stared at the floor. He talked to his father and me.
Mind if I talk to him?
No, go ahead. I asked him about the little Martin boy. He wouldn't tell me a thing.
Well, where is he now?
Right over there in the living room.
Oh, yeah. Looks all right.
Yes. Son, this is a police officer. He wants to talk to you. Don't be afraid, dear. He only wants to ask you some questions. Son. You see, Sergeant?
Yes, ma'am. Stanley? Come on, boy, look at me. Come on, youngster, get your head up. No, that's better. You had your mother pretty worried, you know that? You want to tell us where you've been?
I wish you'd try to get him to eat a little something.
You hear that, son? You want something to eat? Stanley, there's another little boy up the street who hasn't come home. Do you know where he is? His father and mother are worried about him, too, just like your folks were. You gotta help us find him, son.
I killed him.
I killed Steve. With the .22. We only claimed that I killed him.
How do you know you killed him? Maybe he's only hurt now, isn't he?
No, he's dead. I know he's dead. The gun went off. He forgot we put bullets in there.
Well, where is he, Stanley?
I hit him. I was scared. I didn't want anybody to find him.
Where did you hide him, son?
In a cave up on the hill. I didn't mean it. He was my pal.
Do you want to show us where, Stanley?
Yes, sir. I'll show you. Please don't send me to jail.
9:15 p.m., Thursday, December 22nd. 9-year-old Stanley Johnstone led the way up the hill behind the backyard of his home. He showed us the wagon he'd moved the body in. His father came along with us. About 50 feet from the crest of the hill, the boy pointed to a thicket of scrub oak. There we found a small cave holding the body of Stephen Martin. There was a single bullet wound in his chest just below his heart. He was dead. We covered the body. Stanley, how did it happen?
I knew my folks were going to give me a bill for Christmas. I knew where it was and I got it. There was a box of bullets with it.
Were you pointing a gun at Stephen, son?
No, sir. No, sir, I wasn't. It was Steve's turn to play with it. I was chasing him. He tripped over that stump and he fell. The gun hit him in the stomach and went off.
Now, why do you think you killed him if you're telling us the truth here?
I'm telling the truth. Honest, it's the truth.
All right, I believe you, son. But why do you think you killed him?
My gun. He stood me life. I didn't go get it. I should have waited till Christmas. It's all my fault.
Where have you been all this time?
In the cave with Steve.
What were you doing in there, son?
I was praying. I was praying for God to make him alive again.
After a thorough investigation, Frank and I were convinced that the shooting of Stephen Martin was accidental. Ray Pinker's findings substantiated the Johnstone boy's story, even to the smallest detail. We put in a call to the coroner's office and acquainted him with the facts. He designated a local mortuary to handle the body pending autopsy and granted us permission to remove the body to the Martin home. Mrs. Martin collapsed. The family doctor was called. Frank and I sat in the living room to wait for John Martin, the dead boy's father.
Ada? Ada?
Mr. Martin?
Yes. You the police?
Yes, sir.
Where's Edith? Where's my wife? Has my boy come home? Well, have you found him?
Yes, sir.
Where is he? Steve? Stevie? Where's Steve? He's hurt, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Where is he? I want to see him.
He's hurt pretty bad, Mr. Martin.
Well, where is he? I want to see him. How bad?
Pretty bad.
He's dead. All right, if I go in.
Yes, sir, if you want to.
Will you go with me?
Yes, sir. Don't make it any harder on yourself, Mr. Martin.
I want to see my boy. Listen to me, son. I got a lot of nice things for Christmas. Anything you wanted. I could get the 3 new cars for the train. The one with the searchlight on it really works, son. I got the switch you wanted. Never put a trap in my... No. Oh, you can never be free.
Mr. Martin.
What happened?
It was an accident. He was playing with a Johnstone boy up the street, playing with a gun. It went off.
What was the other boy's name?
Stanley Johnstone. It was an accident. Mr. Martin, where are you going?
I want to see that boy.
We had no idea what the dead boy's father had in mind. We didn't feel that we should try to restrain him. We went along with him up the street to the Johnstone home.
I'm Stevie's father. Where's your boy?
I'm sorry.
Where's your boy?
He's right here. Won't you come in?
All right, Miss Johnstone.
You the boy that was with Stevie?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Stanley. I'm sorry, Mr. Martin.
I know it wasn't your fault, Stanley. I wonder if you'd do something for me.
Yes, sir.
I've got a lot of nice presents for Stevie. I know he'd want you to have them. I want to give them to you. Christmas Eve.
Mom? I think that'd be a fine idea, son.
Come on, Frank. Yeah. Well, what's it all prove, Joe? You don't give a kid a gun for Christmas.
The story you have just heard was true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 24th, the coroner's inquest was held in the county morgue, county of Los Angeles, state of California. In a moment, the results of that inquest. At the coroner's inquest, it was officially recorded that Stephen Martin's death was the result of an accident. Stanley Johnstone was absolved of any legal responsibility for his friend's death. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, William Johnstone, Sammy Ogg. Script by Jim Moser. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.